How we doing, folks? How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming back to you straight from the airwaves of Houston, Texas. How we doing this morning? How's your Tuesday this morning? Getting ready for that holiday season? Y'all ready for the holiday season? We're going to talk about that a little bit later on, the holiday season. But how's it going? And diabetes. And my name's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. Talk about all things type 2 diabetes. Let me bring this down some. Yeah. Talk about all things type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance. Talk about all things gestational diabetes, high blood sugar. Like, why do we have all that stuff? Like, why do we have a high blood sugar? Where does all that come from? And the question is diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is it reversible? Once you get it, once you get diagnosed with it, do you have to have it for the rest of your life? That's what we uncover on this live. You've probably been told that before, like, hey, I got prescribed all these medications. Do I have to take this for the rest of my life? That's what I've been told. Or is there an alternative? Is there a way out of that bottomless pit of more and more medications? And the answer to that question is a resounding yes. Yes, it is. If you have type 2 diabetes, it is one of the easiest conditions to get, and it's also one of the easiest conditions to get rid of. You're like, well, what the hell does that mean, Kelley? Well, I mean that it's a lifestyle-driven condition. So it was my diet and lifestyle that caused it. So if it was the diet and lifestyle that caused it, it's going to have to be the same diet and lifestyle that gets you out of it. Just like most of the conditions out here. Most of the conditions out here are all lifestyle related conditions. It's like 8 out of the top 10 conditions are all lifestyle related conditions, meaning it was your diet, heart disease, all of these, arthritis, all of these conditions, these top health conditions are all diet and lifestyle related. And the key to all of them is this little thing called insulin. Insulin resistance is the cause of pretty much every condition that you can possibly imagine. So we talk about things like, what do we talk about on here? Pre-diabetes, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, PCOS from insulin resistance, gestational diabetes from insulin resistance, erectile dysfunction, guess what? From where? Oh yeah, insulin resistance. Black Dog, shout out to you. What's up, Black Dog? Do me a favor. Beep out that screen, folks. Double tap that screen. Double tap that screen and share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. Beep out that screen. Double tap it. Share my live. Hold down my face. Share out the live. Share it with your people. Anybody that you know, like, hey, listen, are you struggling with type 2 diabetes? Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Are you struggling with maybe you just got diagnosed as a pre-diabetic, borderline diabetic? Or maybe you've been borderline diabetic for many, many years, and you're wondering how you can get back to the other side. Or maybe if you have neuropathy, right? Years and years of neuropathy. Anybody who's battling those conditions, man, you send this live over there to them, because that's what we're gonna uncover the mystery. How's everybody doing? A couple of more folks coming in. We just started the live. So a couple of folks are coming in. Beep out that screen, folks, when you're coming in, and then share this live out with anybody that you know is struggling with this condition. My name's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. But here's the thing. Wasn't always a nutritionist. Wasn't always a health coach. Because a few years ago, I was actually in the worst shape of my life. Diabetes, heart disease, obesity, like you name it. Like I had the whole gambit. And this was all dealt to me at the same doctor's visit. It's like a bad spade tan. You get a bad spade tan, you're like, oh no, you gave me the wrong hand. But that was the hand that I was dealt at the very same doctor's visit. Diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. This was like 6 years ago. But as I stand here today, no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. Because here's the thing, something had to change. Something had to change in my lifestyle, or else I was going to suffer the consequences. So how we doing, folks? My name's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. Appreciate the follow. We talk about all things type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, all of that. Here's a couple of things I'm going to tell you how to do today. Number one is I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you who's the villain that we're fighting. And that after we figure out who the villain is that we're fighting, the next thing is what is it that you have to do to be able to defeat this villain? Who is the villain? Oh yeah, the villain is insulin resistance. That's the villain. That's the villain that you were battling. That's the villain that I was battling. I'm no longer battling that villain. You may be on the other hand, may still be battling that villain. So the question is, how do we take the villain out, aka insulin resistance? And you do that. Here's the answer. You do that through your diet and lifestyle. I know it's not the answer that you wanted to hear, okay? But here's the thing. Type 2 diabetes is a dietary and lifestyle-driven condition. So if it was the diet and lifestyle that caused it, it's going to be the same diet and lifestyle that gets you out. And you know where it starts? It starts mainly with the food that you're eating, your fuel source. The fuel source that you choose to fill up on will determine how insulin resistant you are. The fuel source, mostly. All right, there's a couple other factors, but it's mainly what you're eating. So there's a lot of things that could be hurting your health. There's a lot of things that could be causing you to have high blood sugar, folks. But it's predominantly what you're eating. It's predominantly what you're eating. That's what it is. So that's what we're going to uncover that mystery today. So what is it? Who's the villain that we're fighting? And then which is type 2 diabetes. And then once we figure out how to defeat this villain, once we figure out who the villain is, we're going to figure out how to defeat it next. So I'm going to give you that plan. We're going to talk about all things food. By the end of this live, you have a clear picture, a clear understanding of what it takes to defeat this condition. So let's get into it. Do me a favor, folks, and put the words A1C in the chat. So we're going to talk about all things A1C. And also do me a favor and put the word new in the chat as well. If you're new to me, like, hey, I never heard of you before. Maybe maybe it's your first time coming across me. You don't know me from a can of paint. Put a new in the chat. My name's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. Let's see if y'all got any questions. Any questions for me? Let's see. I'm 24 and my A1C is 15. Can that be reversed? Absolutely. Absolutely, it can. You can bring that number all the way down. You hang out with me for a couple of weeks, I'm going to show you how to bring that number down. Good morning. What's up, Trent? What's up, cuz? How's it going, folks? Kim, folks? Tune in, man. Tune in, folks. Good to have you. We can talk about all things insulin resistance, all things type 2 diabetes, all things high blood sugar. Shout out to Trent. My cousin's on the line. New A1C. All right. When I was diagnosed, my A1C was a 13.4. Okay. A1C, new. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else new? Do me a favor, put the word new in the chat if you are new to me. If you never heard of me before, if you're like, yo, who is this guy? Well, my name's Kelley, certified holistic nutritionist, but I wasn't always a nutritionist, wasn't always a health coach, because a few years ago, I was in the worst shape of my life. Diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, all at the very same doctor's visit. So let's get into it. Let's talk about A1C, folks. Let me bring up my old trusty board over here. Y'all got any questions, throw them in the chat. We're getting ready to have some fun now. Pre-diabetic, neck is dark, neck is all dark, and all of a sudden, should I get rechecked? If you're a pre-diabetic, I don't think you need to go reach. You can go. How long has it been since you were pre-diabetic? That's been a while ago, or what? That's what we got to find out. But yes, get it checked as often as you possibly can. New, okay. 2 years. Oh yeah, definitely time to go. Yeah, 2 years is a long time ago. Okay. Yeah, 2 years is a long time ago. How we doing, folks? This is Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. Here we go. A1C. Who's the villain that we're fighting? Told you. We're gonna find out who it is. Hemoglobin. This is the villain that we're fighting. Hemoglobin A1C. Who's ever gone to the doctor before and gotten their hemoglobin A1C tested before? If you've ever gotten yours tested before, put a me in the chat if you've ever got your hemoglobin A1C tested. Or if you're anemic, maybe somebody, the doctor maybe told you maybe you're anemic, put a me in the chat. Let's see. New. All right. Your insurance will pay it every 3 months. Okay. Yes. 6.2. Me. Who's gone and gotten their A1C tested before? Put a me in the chat. All right. Me, 7.2. Now is a 6.2. Okay. Anybody else? All right. So let's find out what this hemoglobin A1C is then. A1C. All right. So the word hemo means iron and oxygen. So iron and oxygen rich blood needs to flow through every cell of your body. So you're like, well, what's that? Think of it like this. Every time you breathe in and out, that's called oxygen. Oxygen rich blood needs to flow through every cell of your body. That is what the word hemo means. So it's iron and oxygen. Think of hemoglobin like this. Every time you try to hold your breath, see how long you can hold your breath. Probably maybe like 30, 45 seconds. That's because you don't have enough oxygen-rich blood filling your cells, aka breath. So this stuff's very, very important, folks. Hemoglobin. Check it out. It's so important that if you don't have enough of it, the doctors will actually give you a blood transfusion, because that's how important the stuff is if it gets too low. Okay. The word A1C means how much sugar was stuck to your hemoglobin over the past 3 months. Over the past 3 to 4 months, how much sugar was stuck to it? And you're like, well, what kind of sugar, Kelley? Well, the same kind of sugar that, Halloween just passed a couple of days ago, a few days ago, a week or so ago, Halloween. And there was a lot of kids getting a lot of candy. You know all that sugar? Imagine taking all that sugar and just putting it into a big old a melting pot, and it's just straight sticky stuff. So that same sticky stuff is the stuff that's stuck to your hemoglobin, which is causing damage. The more sugar that you have stuck to your hemoglobin, the more damage you are causing to your cells. Hemoglobin, every cell of your body. Okay. It is indicated by a percent. And that percent goes anywhere between 4 and 30. It could go as low as 4, or it can go as high as 30 in extreme cases, right? But it is a percent of sugar that is stuck to your hemoglobin. So if you're comfortable with it, folks, put your hemoglobin A1C in the chat. If you know your number, and if you're comfortable with it, throw your A1C in the chat, folks. Throw it in the chat. 6.2, 5.7, 12.4, okay. 6.2, 6.6. I take meds for thyroids, removed years, okay. Ago, 2 type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, okay. Put your A1C in the chat, folks, if you're comfortable with it. 5.1. Okay. Let's see. Last one. One more. Give me one more. One more A1C. Okay, a 6. Here we go. So those numbers that y'all are calling out is a percent. It is the percent of sugar that has been stuck to your hemoglobin over the past 3 months, 3 to 4 months. Okay, so I said it's a percent. So those numbers that y'all are calling out, what happens when your A1C gets to a 5.7 to a 6 to a 6.4? What does it mean? Some people calling out their A1C still is 5.6. Okay, your A1C is a 5.7 to a 6.4. What does that mean? When you go to the doctor and get your report and okay, it's a 6.1. What does that mean? Any guesses? All right. It means that you are a that's it, diabetic. Pre-diabetic. But the question is, what does that mean though? If you're a pre-diabetic, who can tell me what that means? Who can tell me what the most important hormone is in the body? We'll put it that way. Can you tell me what the most important hormone is in the body? We do participation on this. So y'all participate, folks. We're going to have a whole lot of fun with this. Telling you what A1C is and then telling you how to defeat it. Who can tell me, is it glucagon? Is it dopamine? Is it testosterone? Is it estrogen? Which one do you think is the most important hormone in the body? There's a lot of important ones, but which one's the most important? All right, we got some insulins. Okay. Insulin resistance. All right. Is it cortisol maybe? Is it testosterone, estrogen? Blood sugar. Okay. That's not a hormone, but that's very, very, very important. Yeah. Glucose, the same thing. Testosterone, prolactin, cortisol. All right, here we go. Insulin. Those are some great choices that y'all named out. Insulin is the most important hormone in your body. How do I know this? It's because if you ask a type 1 diabetic, how long can they go without their insulin? And the answer is going to be not for very long. They can't go for very long without their insulin. Why? It's because the hormone is that important. That is why a type 1 diabetic is what's called insulin dependent. It means you depend on insulin. How long do you depend on insulin? Oh yeah, for the rest of your life. Because if you don't have it, you won't survive. So they're all important, but the most important is insulin. You can survive without those other hormones. Your quality of life is going to suck, but you can survive. But without insulin, you won't survive. Okay, so now back to prediabetes. Prediabetes means that you are becoming resistant to the most important hormone in your body. So if you are becoming resistant to the most important hormone in your body, I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a good thing. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Okay, let's up the ante a little bit. 6.5 or higher. 6.5 or higher. What does it mean for your A1C at that point? What is your diagnosis when your A1C is at a 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? Yes, you can reverse it. That's what we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about what it is. Then we're going to talk about how to fix it. Okay, it means that you're a diabetic. I see the answer in there. What does it mean when your A1C is that? It means that you are, any other guesses? Diabetes. All right. But let's find out what that means. What does it mean to be a diabetic? Here's what it means. It means that you have become resistant to the most important hormone in your body, insulin. You are now insulin resistant. Remember what I said earlier about type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes means you don't produce insulin. Type 2 diabetes, so you're insulin dependent. So that's type 1. So type 2 diabetes means that you've got too much insulin. It's the opposite of type 1. What's the difference between type 1 and type 2? They're opposites. They both have too much blood sugar, but one doesn't produce insulin. One produces too much insulin. So when you're insulin resistant, you're producing too much insulin. It's AKA why you are resistant to it. And if you are resistant to the most important hormones in the body, guess what's going to happen? It's going to cause a domino effect. All the rest of everything else is downhill of that. That is why if you are insulin resistant, all the other conditions stem from there. It's just like the insulin resistance is the base. And then from the base, you got PCOS. From the base, you've got type 2 diabetes. From the base, you've got erectile dysfunction. And then pre-diabetes, all of that stuff. It all stems from insulin resistance. So this is what it means, folks. It means the higher the number is, the more percentage of sugar that you have stuck to your hemoglobin. So when your numbers are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, it means the more resistant you are becoming, which causes more sugar. Remember that sticky stuff we talked about, to be stuck to your hemoglobin. Remember what we said hemoglobin was? Oh yeah, only the life that you breathe. That's what hemoglobin is. Close my window. That's what hemoglobin is. The life that you breathe. So you don't want a whole bunch of sticky stuff stuck to the life that you breathe, because guess what happens? It causes aging. It's called glycation. That's the scientific word for it. But it causes aging. It causes you to age a lot faster than what you'd like. Causes you to check out of here a little bit too soon. Because the sugar is literally choking the life out of you. That's literally what it means. So here's the thing. My sister, a couple of years ago, my sister passed away at the age of 55 years old in her sleep due to complications of, you guessed it, diabetes. She had diabetes for many, many years. And as a result, at the age of 55 years old, the sugar eventually choked the life out of my sister. She is no longer here. I miss my sister dearly. But here's the thing. These are the stakes that we're playing with. This is a serious game that we're playing. Because this number right here, this is a very serious number. Here's the thing though. Not all hope is lost. You can get your number back to a 5.3. That's the ideal range. People are like, well, if my number's out of control, if I'm at a 7, if I'm at an 8, if I'm at a 9, if I'm at a 10, if I'm at an 11, 12, 13, 14, is it possible, 17? Is it possible to get my number back down to maybe the 5.3, the ideal range? Is it possible? Hell yeah, it's possible. Not only is it possible, I've done it myself. I've done it myself. Now, my number didn't get the crazy high, but I got to a 6.5. You want to look here? Check it out. Check it out. This is what my number was at, a 6.5. It's called being a 6.5 right there. That's it. See that? That's called diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, all at the very same doctor's visit. 2 weeks after I took this picture. So when I tell you I know that not all hope is lost, when I tell you I know that there's a way, I'm not playing, okay? I'm super, super serious. I'm super serious. Last picture. Last one. That's called diabetes, heart disease, obesity. Now, no more diabetes, no more heart disease. And as you can tell, I'm no longer obese. Look, call the vet because these puppies are sick. Okay? Anyhow, how did I do it? Through the power of lifestyle medicine. So if this is making sense to y'all folks, I want y'all to, what this number actually means now, I want y'all to put a health yes in the chat. Put a health yes in the chat. This is making sense to y'all on what this number actually really means now. If you're going to take this number a little bit more seriously, because the game is high stakes in this game. Let's see. Thank you kindly. Can it cause down to have your testosterone low? Yeah. Can it cause your testosterone to be low? Absolutely, it can. Yeah. It is the cause of everything. But mine fluctuates at times. Okay. Health, yes. Health, yes. Is a good thing I have A1C less than a 5. Is it a good thing? Yeah. Depends on how much less, though. Right? If you're like 4.8, 4.9, good. But if you're like 4, nah, that's low. Health, yes. I had gestational diabetes with all 3 of my kids. Yes, thank you. Doctors want to keep you. It's a business. I want out. So if you want out, here's the thing. The very first thing that you can do is take the quiz. Very first thing that you can do is take the quiz. If you want out, check it out right here. Click here. Click on my picture again. And it's going to take you to this my TikTok link right here. Click that link. Here's the quiz. This is a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. Like if you've been doing a great job managing this number, have you been doing kind of a so-so job? Maybe have you been doing a terrible job managing this number? This quiz is going to give you that answer. It is a 2-minute quiz that is going to give you that answer. 2 minutes, that's all it's going to take. Diabetes management style. And then there's a lot of freebies on here. There's the quiz, and then there's the masterclass, the free masterclass, 45-minute masterclass, where we break down the lifestyle medicine formula. And then, but finally, for my folks who are ready for serious change, it's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Well, if you're serious about getting this number to where it needs to be, you should join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, right? If you're ready to take control of your blood sugar, join that challenge. So that's it, folks. That's it. 14. That's it. This is what this hemoglobin A1C number is. Now, I'm going to tell you how to fix it right now, but let's see if y'all got any questions. Let's see if you got any questions. Yes, have my doctor's visit. Okay, thanks. Here we go. Let's get into the next part of it then. While we're getting into the next part of it, take the quiz. 2-minute quiz that you can take. Understand and learn your diabetes management style. That link in my bio, folks, is like Disney World. I grew up in Disney. I grew up in Orlando. So I know a thing or two about Disney World. And when I tell you that link is like Disney World, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, that link is going to be like Disney World for you. I promise you. So let's get into it. The next thing is, how do you fix this number? How do you get this number? Who would love to get their A1C to a 5.3? Put a me in the chat if you'd love to get your A1C to a 5.3. You'd love to get it there. Let's see. I know some numbers from earlier. Well, who would love to get it there? Me. Okay, yeah, me. Me. Protein, fat, sweet potato, carrots, etc. Some carbs, but low. Okay. Who'd love to get their A1C to 5.3? Raise your hand. Can diabetes, insulin resistance can cause pretty much everything, boss. Okay? You're insulin resistant. It's going to be the cause of everything. So get that under control and everything else will fall into place. Me, okay, 5.3, here it is. Like, what would that mean, though? If you can get your A1C to a 5.3, what would that mean? What would that mean for you? I can tell you what it will mean. It means that you're adding more years back to your life. Like a lot more years. Very first thing that you got to do when it comes to getting your A1C to a 5.3, when it comes to getting yourself off of the blood sugar roller coaster, it means that you're doing really good. Yep. When it comes to getting yourself off of the blood sugar roller coaster, it all starts with what you eat. Like I said, there's a lot of things that could be hurting your health, but it's predominantly what you're eating. It's predominantly what you're eating that is causing this. Your blood sugar to be out of control. And there's two fuel sources. Fuel source number one. What are you fueling up on? Are you fueling up on unleaded? Or are you fueling up on diesel fuel? These are the two fuel sources, folks. You're going to be filling up on either one of these. And what do I mean by diesel and unleaded? Here's a quick story. A coworker of mine let his daughter borrow the family van to go hang out with some friends. Well, when his daughter brought the van back, the van was shaking like a leaf. Turns out his daughter, 17 years old, his daughter put diesel fuel into the car, into the unleaded burning engine. And as a result, when she brought it back, now the car is shaking. He told me he had to spend thousands of dollars to get that car fixed. But at the end of the day, it still didn't work properly. So he ended up having to get rid of that vehicle because she put diesel fuel into it. Now, here's the thing. Had she just put the regular gas in there, unleaded, she put the regular gas in there, the car would have just kept on running and running and running and running and running and running and running. And running. Okay? But she put the wrong fuel source in there. So that's the same thing that happens with us, with human beings. We've got two fuel sources that we can run on. It's either going to be unleaded, it's going to be on diesel. Here's some examples. Here's some examples of some unleaded fuel. Things like kale. Things like broccoli. Right, here's some examples of some diesel fuel. Things like soda. Things like candy. All right. Now, the object of this game is to find out which fuel source are you filling up on most of the time. Because we're probably going to have to switch your fuel source. So here it is. So this is a participation game. So name out foods, folks. Just start naming out foods. Like whatever your favorite food is, whatever your favorite food is, and we're going to find out which category does it go in. Does it go in the diesel fuel category or does it go in the unleaded category? The diesel fuel is the category we want to stay away from, right? This is step number one, folks, of getting your A1C back to where it needs to be. This is just step number one to getting your off of that blood sugar roller coaster. Toast. Somebody said toast. I saw toast. Okay. Toast is going to go over here. Toast, it depends. Let me say that. I'm going to put toast over here. But I'm going to put an asterisk with it. That's bread. So we're going to say bread, but toast. You can have some toast, but it's going to have an asterisk with it. That means that you just got to be careful and how much toast that you're eating. All right. Bread, same thing. A morning taco, depends on the taco, but most likely I'm going to put it over here because if we're talking about Taco Bell, what are we talking about? What kind of tacos are we talking about? Right? Rice. Bagels. Bagels is going to go over here. Diesel fuel category. Bread, sourdough bread still. Sourdough bread is going to go over here. Sourdough. It can go in either category. Sourdough bread, but here's the thing. I'm going to put a big asterisk on sourdough bread, like a big one. Because even though it's sourdough bread, it's still going to raise the hell out of your blood sugar. Let's see, sourdough bread, rice. We said rice, okay. Bean, egg, and cheese. Bean, egg. So we got to separate those. The beans will go over here. The beans are going to go over here. The eggs are going to go over here in the unleaded fuel category. But the cheese is going to go over here in the diesel fuel category. So no on the cheese. Fish. Okay. Unleaded. There we go. Salmon. Okay. Yeah, that's the fish. So we're good over here. I'll just put a fish up there. Okay. But no fried fish, right? If we're talking about fried fish, we're talking about fried catfish. We ain't talking about fried catfish. Potatoes. Gonna go over here and unleaded. Potatoes. All right. What else? Chicken wings. It depends on the chicken wings, right? Are we talking about chicken wings that we're getting from? Are we talking about chicken wings that we're getting from Wings and Things, or or Wingstop? Not those kind of wings. So you gotta clarify what kind of chicken wings we're talking about here. But if you're just talking regular chicken, without all the crazy stuff, right here. All right. Sweet potatoes over here. Potatoes, boom. Doesn't matter the kind of potatoes. We're all good. Tuna and mayo. So I'm going to put the tuna over here. But I'm going to put the mayo, since that's dairy. We're going to put dairy. We're going to put all things dairy over here. So mayo included. Cucumbers. Going to go over here in the unleaded category. All right. Let's see what else. Sardines. Sardines, if you can stomach the taste, they will go over here in the unleaded category. Beets. Beets are going to go over here. Yep, beets. Chili and cornbread. The chili, depending on what you're throwing in the chili, it can go in the beans category. That's going to be good. Now, the cornbread is going to go over in the diesel fuel category. All right. Purple cabbage. All right, that's going to go over here. That's cabbage. All colors, right? Yup, all colors. Dairy bad for one. Dairy is you don't want dairy. Okay. Cakes, cookies, donuts, sweet potatoes. Okay, cakes, all right. Boom. Donuts. What else did you say? And sweet potato pie. Yep. Pie. Patty pies, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, all kinds of pies. That's going to go in the diesel fuel category. All right. Beet juice. That's going to go over here. Beets. We're good on here. Beet juice is good. We can do beet juice. That's fine. You can juice vegetables, but don't juice fruit, folks. That's a good point. Juice vegetables, but don't juice fruit. You can juice some beets, but you shouldn't be juicing some watermelon or pineapple, right? Now, if you're juicing watermelon and pineapple, oddly enough, it's going to go over here in the diesel fuel category. But on the other hand, if you eat the watermelon, and the pineapples, it's going to go in the unleaded category. But if you juice it, it's going to go over here. That's fruit. So you can juice vegetables. You can juice things like cucumbers. Somebody said cucumbers. Cucumber. I think I already got that somewhere, maybe. You can juice cucumbers. You can juice things like celery. So you can juice those, but you cannot juice things like oranges. You cannot juice fruit, because if you do, it's going to go in the diesel fuel category. All it's going to do is spike your blood sugar. That's all it's going to do, because you removed all of the protective stuff, aka the fiber. You see what I just did there, folks? You remember, you see that little slick rule I just threw in there? You can eat your fruit. So what does that mean? Eat your fruit, don't juice your fruit. Aha. Okay, now back to it. Purple cabbage, beet juice, turkey, and dressing. You're talking about for the holidays. Here's the thing. Turkey, you go over here. The dressing is going to go over here, though. Because here's the thing. Diabetes doesn't care about the holidays. Okay? You may care about the holidays, but your high blood sugar, it doesn't care. I can promise you it doesn't. A corn, you can go over here, but with an asterisk. All starchy veggies are going to have an asterisk. You see all the starchy stuff? It's got an asterisk. Right? Bread, you see corn, bread, toast. That's bread. You got to eat those in moderation, like real moderation. Oranges, got to be careful. Don't eat oranges on an empty stomach. That's another rule, right? Don't eat naked fruit. Yes, all right. Pine nuts. Nuts are going to go over here. Good one. All right. Name out your favorite food, folks. If you're just joining us, name out your favorite food. Whatever your favorite food is, or any food, just throw out any food. And it's going to go in either one of these two categories. If you're just joining us, my name is Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. Now we're talking about the food that you eat, or the fuel sources that you choose to fill up on, will determine your overall health, especially your blood sugar. Okay? So the question is, throw out some foods, and we're going to tell you which category does it go in, and should you be eating it, should you not be eating it, how much can I eat, so on and so forth. So let's go here. Okay, here we go. What about protein drinks? It depends on the protein drinks, protein shakes. Now, if you're talking about Ensure, no. But if you're talking about a protein shake that you make at the house, minus the whey, no dairy. It just depends. But things like Ensure, no, we're not doing those. Okay. Corned beef. Corned beef. I think that's gonna go over. That's gonna go over here. I think that's a processed. I haven't heard that one in a while. I think that's a processed meat, right? Because there is some preservatives in there. But if you would have just said beef, okay, but you said corned beef, so we're gonna throw that over there. Corned beef, that's a good one. I ain't heard that in a while. Dates, gonna go over here. Here's the thing about dates. Big old asterisks on dates. You can eat dates, but you can have 1 or 2 dates. That's the true. That's the cutoff. 1 or 2, maybe 3 at the most. Okay, because dates, even though dates are great, they won't raise your blood sugar unless you eat too much of them. If you go nuts with them, they will raise your blood sugar. Cheese, over here, diesel fuel category. Why cheese? Cheese is, if you want to know more about cheese, if you want to know more about dairy, it's ultra inflammatory. You don't want that. It's ultra inflammatory stuff. Let's see. What about grits? That's a good one. Grits are going to go over here. Grits are 100% going to go. I was going to put them over here, but I was going to put an asterisk on them. But grits are going to send your blood sugar to the moon. So, on a Sunday morning, you know what I mean? Sunday morning, you wake up eating a bowl of grits. Whoo! Right before you go to church, man. You don't want to do that. Cottage cheese is going to go over here. So all cheese. So cottage cheese, cottage included, right? All the cheeses. even plant-based cheese, right? Vegan cheese. But here's the thing, though, folks. Even though I'm naming all of this stuff, it's not about being perfect. Something's going to go in one category. It's not about being perfect. It's about what you do most of the time. It's about what you do most of the time that matters the most. So the question you got to ask yourself is, which one are you filling up on mostly? Are you filling up mostly on diesel fuel, or are you filling up mostly on the unleaded? That's the question that you got to ask yourself. So here's the percentages. Here's the percentages, and we're going to get back to your stuff because we still got more stuff to fill in on this board. 90% in the human body, you fill up 90% on this side, on this side. 10% over here. That's called the 90-10 rule, folks. It's about what you do most of the time that matters the most. So if you're filling up on diesel, if you're filling up on unleaded most of the time, your health you will be in good health. If you're filling up on diesel fuel most of the time, you will be in terrible health. That's just how it goes. It's just as simple as that. So which one are you doing most? What you do most of the time matters the most. So let's get back to it. Let's get back. Diet soda. Diet soda right over here. I'm just going to put diet soda. Speaking of that, if you look at this word diesel, we talked about the two fuel sources, right? Unleaded and diesel. Diesel you don't want to fill up on, because look why. Look how you can look even how you spell diesel. It's D-I-E, die, cell. That's how you spell diesel. Isn't that crazy? It basically means if you fill up on that too much, it's where your cells go to die. Damn. That's what diesel fuel means. Jeez. But anyhow, Glucerna is going to go over here. That's one of those protein, that's one of those trash protein shakes, right? Going to go over here in the diesel fuel category. Glucerna. Boost, same thing. That's one of those trash formulas. Boost is going to go over here. Diesel fuel category. Oatmeal. Oatmeal is going to go over here, but with an asterisk, right? You don't want to eat, here's the asterisk. You don't want to eat oatmeal on an empty stomach, and you don't want to eat oatmeal first thing in the morning. You can wait later if you want to eat oatmeal, try to wait till it's the middle of the day as possible. Don't wake up in the morning and eat oatmeal be the first meal with your first meal of the day. Why? It's because it's going to raise your blood sugar very, very high, especially if you eat it on an empty stomach, and especially if you eat it with like some brown sugar. Okay? So you can't eat oatmeal. You just got to, there's a rule to eating the oatmeal, which we'll cover a little bit later. You see all these ones with asterisks? These ones, they have rules to them. There's rules to the game. Okay? Let's see. Diet soda. Yeah, we said diet soda is going to go into diesel fuel. Apples and oranges over here. We got oranges already. Apples are going to go in the unleaded. Oranges and apples. Summer sausage. Nope. Sausage is going to go over here in the diesel fuel. Sausage is a group 1 carcinogen. Sausage, bacon, yeah, those are group 1 carcinogens. And group 1 carcinogen, what a group 1 carcinogen is they have been known to cause cancer. That is what a group 1 carcinogen is. There's been over 800 studies that determine that these sausages, bacon, salamis, pepperonis, all of the deli meats, bacon included, sausage, turkey sausage, whatever. These are all group 1 carcinogens. You don't want to eat a group 1 carcinogen, okay? Let's see, sunflower seeds and sweet potatoes. Sunflower seeds are going to go over here. We'll just put that in the seeds because there's a lot of seeds. Anything seeds is going to go over there. Sunflower seeds included, chia seeds, any kind of seeds. They're all over there. Let's see what else. What about protein drink with nuts and non-dairy milk? That's good. Yep. Yep. Protein drink. If you're making the protein drink yourself with preferably no dairy. Yep. No dairy milk. Great. That's great. That'll go over here in the unleaded category. So yeah, good. Grapes. Grapes are going to go over here. Grapes. Here's the thing about grapes. Big asterisk as well, right? Eat fruit as a dessert. Think of fruit as a dessert. You've eaten, you filled up on your food for the day. You're full. You're fueled up. You want to have some grapes. Have some grapes as a dessert. So when you think of fruit, when you think of pineapple, when you think of watermelon, when you think of those, you think of fruit. I mean, you think of dessert. Watermelon and pineapple, you think of dessert. So yes, you can have watermelon, you can have pineapple, you can have grapes, you can have what else? Bananas. You can't have all this stuff. You can still have oatmeal, right? You just got to know how to eat it strategically. And you want to think of all the stuff that I just named as a dessert. Because it's going to slow down how quickly the molecules, the glucose molecules enter your bloodstream if you eat it as a dessert. Vice, if you eat it by itself on an empty stomach, it's going to cause it to super, super high. Cream of wheat, no, cream of wheat going to go over here. Cream of wheat. All right. Steel cut oats. Same thing. Oatmeal, same thing. Gonna go with same rule. Doesn't matter if it's still cut or not. Almond milk. Almond milk's gonna go over here. It just depends on the almond milk though, because there are some trash almond milks out there. You got to make sure you're getting the best one though. Look it up. When you're there, look it up. Look it up to see if this is the best option. Okay, what else? Almond milk. So with that being said, almond milk, on the other side of that, you're going to have oat milk. See, oat milk is going to go over here. Almond milk, isn't that crazy? Almond milk goes over here in the unleaded side, and then why would oat milk go in the diesel side? Well, because oat milk is just basically oatmeal. Remember I said there's an asterisk on it? It's basically oatmeal that they've ground up, and now in oat milk, all you've got is liquid sugar. You've got liquid sugar. That's what you got when you got oat milk. So no oat milk. Almond milk, yes, because it's made from almonds. Almonds aren't going to raise your blood sugar, right? Cashews are not going to raise your blood sugar, but oats will. Mushrooms, right over here, unleaded. Mushrooms are great, man. If you've never tapped into mushrooms before, man, it's like a whole different world. You go to the Asian market and you get yourself go to the mushroom section, man, it's like a whole new world when it comes to mushrooms. I'm telling you. Bacon and sausage, yeah, right over here. Diesel fuel, group 1 carcinogens. Red Bull, okay. Red Bull, diesel fuel, okay. Definitely going to be a diesel fuel because that's artificial coloring, artificial flavoring, artificial sugars. Let's see what else. Steak, Red Bull, Red Bull, period. I heard Diet Pepsi was the best for the drink. Is that false? Diet Pepsi is going to go over here in the diesel fuel category. That is terrible advice. I don't know who gave you that, but artificial means that it's artificial. You are a real person. I can promise you are. So if you put artificial stuff into a real person, you are going to get things like artificial chronic health conditions. Diet soda is not going to raise your blood sugar, but it's going to raise your insulin levels, and it's also going to destroy your gut. So you don't want diet soda because it's artificial and you're real. Not a good combination. Cream of wheat, we got it over here already. Cream of wheat right here. So diesel fuel. Chia seeds, any kind of seeds. Chia seeds are right here. So we got that. Cornmeal porridge. Nah, that's going to go over here because it's just straight up cornmeal porridge with nothing else. You eat that, it's going to take your blood sugar real high. All right, so cornmeal. All right, what else? Chia seeds. Those protein shakes are mostly oil. So that's why I say get the best one. Get the best one that you possibly can. They're mainly filled with dairy, okay? You want to get the one with the least amount of ingredients possible. Those are the protein shakes that you want to get. So you don't get the ones from the stores. Let's see here. Almond milk. Yeah, almond milk is going to go in the omelet. We got it over here already. Speaking of oils, there's only 3 approved oils. There's avocado, coconut, olive oil. Avo, cocoa, olive. Those are the 3 oils, folks. Avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil. All the other oils, let me see if that's making any sense. Oil. All the other oils, peanut oil, grapeseed oil, all these other different kind of oils, these are all diesel fuel. They're going to go in the diesel fuel category, folks, because those are industrial grade seed oils. You don't want industrial seed oils. Pork is, I wouldn't recommend pork, but if you do pork, hey, that's your prerogative. But here's the thing, I would put it in the diesel fuel category. It's not going to go in the unleaded category, but it's kind of like in the gray area. Okay, pork. So what do you eat for breakfast? You eat a savory breakfast. Here's an example of a breakfast. Chicken, out of the unleaded category, watch this. It's called the savory breakfast. Look, chicken, broccoli, avocado. Somebody said avocado. Avocado. That's it. That's a savory breakfast. Another example of a breakfast could be fish with cucumbers with some nuts on the side. Got some asparagus over here. It's called a savory breakfast. So it's a protein, it's a fat, and it's a non-starchy veggie. A protein, fat, non-starchy veggie. That's called a savory breakfast. That's how you want to start your day. Apple cider vinegar, yeah, ACV. Apple cider vinegar, okay. Agave and honey, they're gonna go over here. Now, can you have a little bit of agave? Can you have a little bit of honey every once in a while? Like I said, a small percentage of the time. Remember we talked about 10% of the time. Very small percent. But if you're waking up every day and this is your every day, it's honey and agave in your coffee. Honey, agave in your coffee every day. Every day. Then it's going to go in the diesel fuel category. So, because I know most folks are using it like crazy. If it's your pancakes, you just a whole bunch of this honey. Give me more honey on my pancakes. That's going to send your blood sugar so high that you couldn't even possibly imagine. What protein should one buy that is good for you? I recommend a good pea protein. A good pea protein. It has no dairy in it. Pea protein. A good organic pea protein. PEA. Whey protein, no. Because whey is going to go over here. Anything with whey, that's why I said a good pea protein powder. I'd recommend, not a whey. It's got dairy in it. What protein should one get? Bananas are going to go over here, but with an asterisk. Okay, with an asterisk. Organic ice cream, right over here. Doesn't matter if it's organic. Doesn't matter if it's organic. If it's dairy, no. And even check this out. Even if the plant-based, you got plant-based ice cream, vegan ice cream, those are also trash too. So vegan included, vegan ice cream included, because it's just a bunch of sugar that they added together, aka diesel fuel. But again, folks, can you have some diesel fuel from time to time? Yes, you can have some diesel fuel from time to time, because you don't have to be like the car. The car has to be perfect. You cannot put a single drop of diesel fuel into your unleaded burning car, or else your engine's going to crap out. The human body is more resilient than that. Way more resilient. So you can it's my birthday. I want to go out, have a little fun for your birthday. It's your anniversary. Okay, go out and have a little fun for your anniversary. All right. You've been doing your thing. You've been managing yourself. Been doing great. Thanksgiving holidays are coming up. If you've been doing great, okay, it's family dinner. You want to eat with your family. You still want to eat some of the stuff, but use caution with it. You can have a little bit of diesel fuel at the family gathering. But here's the thing. If you're getting home from the family gathering and you're eating it again, and then again, and then again, and then more again, eventually your engine's going to crap out because you're filling up on it too much. Organic ice cream, eggs or dairy. Eggs are going to go over here. We put eggs over here, right here. Dairy is going to go over here. Diesel fuel, eggs and unleaded. Dairy in the diesel fuel. Thought bananas was a lot of sugar. Is it best for us to eat those fruit in the afternoon? It is best to eat those in the afternoon. That's a very good point. You see how I got all the ones with asterisks on them? You have to be careful with them. You have to eat them in a certain way. You think of fruit. When you think of fruit, you think of dessert. Right? When you think of fruit, you think of dessert. That is going to be your new dessert, fruit. Anytime you think of fruit, like, oh man, I love my fruit. I love my banana. Okay, if you love your banana, you think of it as a dessert, and you eat a small percentage of it. You don't get carried away with it. You can have banana. It's the same thing with all of this stuff. Like I said before, it's about the percentage. It's about what you're doing most of the time. So none of this stuff's really off limits, folks. I'd stay away. I'd stay away from the sausages and the bacon, though. Okay, as much as I possibly can, because those are group 1 carcinogens. You don't want to play around with those. You don't want to play around with group 1 carcinogens like bacon, sausages, salami, what else? Turkey bacon. It doesn't really matter. Boudin for my Louisiana folks. Boudin, folks, is going to go in the diesel fuel category. All right. I guess tamales are diesel and menudo. Yeah, menudo is it's the equivalent of, in my culture we eat chitlins. In my culture we eat chitlins. In your culture, you eat menudo. So either one, chitlins, thank you for saying that. Chitlins are going to go in the diesel fuel category. Menudo is going to go in the diesel fuel category. Chitlins and menudo, they go together. Lactose milk, it doesn't matter. Right over here. Lactose milk, it doesn't matter if it's lactose, whatever kind of form of dairy that it is. Did I put milk over here? I'm just going to put milk. I didn't even put milk. Did I put milk? Milk. Well done. Appreciate that. Dark chocolate. Oh, good one. Dark chocolate is going to go over here in the unleaded category. Dark chocolate. That's a good one, because dark chocolate is going to go in the unleaded category. But you want to know what? Milk chocolate will go over here. See, milk chocolate. Anything with milk in it is going to go in the diesel fuel category. So dark chocolate is great, especially for things like cravings. So if you've got cravings for sugar, especially if you've got cravings for sugar, get yourself some dark chocolate first. Get something bitter first. Get yourself a green apple. All right, green apple. That's another one. You want to fight off sugar cravings? Get yourself some dark chocolate, or get yourself a green apple. And if you got a sugar craving coming on, like, oh, I feel a sugar craving coming on, get yourself some dark chocolate. Eat a mushroom. I mean, not mushrooms. Somebody put mushrooms, threw me off. Eat a dark chocolate. Eat some dark chocolate. Eat a green apple. And then just wait a second. I guarantee that sugar craving will go away. I guarantee it. It's science, folks. It's chemistry. It's how your body works. So, yeah. Anyhow, back to it. I got a lot of ones today. All right, dark chocolate, oat milk. Oat milk's gonna go over here. Look, oat milk. I already got that one. Diesel fuel. Somebody already beat you to it. Chocolates, cocoa chocolates, and cacao. Yeah, cacao is gonna go over here. How do you spell that? It's A-O. Cacao is gonna go over there. But if you're talking milk chocolate, it's going to go over here in the diesel fuel category. Or what about butter? Butter is dairy. I'm going to go in the butter category. That's some fun. That's they make that out of dairy. So we're going to throw that in the butter category. Can you have some butter every once in a while? Again, it's with all of this stuff. Same thing. It's a very small percentage of the time. Do you want to be eating butter every day? No, you don't want to be eating butter every day. You want to limit your butter to a very small percentage of the time. Matcha. Okay, that's good right over here. Are you talking about some tea? We'll put tea right over here. That's a good one. Pomegranate juice. It depends. Actually, it's going to go over here. Remember we talked about it earlier? You may have joined us. If the rule were with fruit, if you say pomegranate, yes, you can eat the pomegranate. But if you juice the pomegranate, it's going to go in the diesel fuel category, because that is stripping away all of the fiber. So you strip away all of the fiber, now you got nothing. Now you got straight juice. Now you got straight sugar. You just got straight sugar when you juice. Pancakes is definitely going to go in the diesel fuel category. Pancakes, Lego my ego. So folks, don't give you in the morning time. Here's what happens. Here's what happens in the morning times. When you give your kids, let's just say your kids are off to school, and you give your kids pancakes, and you give your kids maybe some Lego my ego, and maybe they've got a lot of syrup on those pancakes, a lot of syrup, a lot of honey, maybe a lot of agave. And then what's going to happen is, and you do that on an empty stomach, or what's going to happen is they're going to go get on the bus, and their blood sugar is going to start rising. And when they get to class, by the time they get to class, their blood sugar is going to be real, real high. And then they're going to come crashing down, right? And it's just going to be like that throughout the day. If you want to start your kid off with a great day, start your kid off with not a sugary breakfast. That's considered a sugary breakfast. Don't start him off with a Pop-Tart. Start your kid off with a Pop-Tart. It's going to be one hell of a day. Instead, start him off with a savory breakfast. Something over here on this side. Maybe some eggs with some cucumbers, or eggs with some peppers. with some spinach on the side, or with an avocado. You start your kids off like that. Just do that for a week. Give your kids that breakfast for a week, a savory breakfast, and see how they perform in school. I bet you they're going to have a whole different day when they come home from school. Pomegranate, French fries. No, French fries are going to go in the diesel fuel category. They could go with the potatoes because fries are just potatoes. But when you're saying fries, I know you ain't just talking about like how you eat them into potatoes. I know you're talking about frying them up, getting them from your favorite fast food joint, McDonald's fries, Burger King. Who's got the best fries? McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. Like, who's got the best fries? Diesel fuel, black coffee, ghee. Black coffee with ghee. Again, ghee is going to go in the same category as I would say with the butter. You can have some on occasion, right? On occasion. Black coffee, good. Olive oil, good. That's one of the 3 oils right here. Olive, okay. Can't drink almond milk. Well, there's coconut milk. There is pistachio milk. There's cashew milk. There's all different types of milks, but you want to make sure that, because those milks that I just named out, you got to be careful with those too, because there's a lot of crap that they can put into those. So just use caution. But oat milk is definitely, no matter how you swing it, no matter which way, milk, no milk, whatever, oat milk is going to be a no-go in any circumstance. Oat milk is going to be a no-go. Okay, boiled eggs with avocado and Greek yogurt. That was all good except for the yogurt. Except for the yogurt. All right, you got the yogurt over here. That's going to be a dairy. It's a good one. And that includes zero sugar yogurts. Zero sugar yogurts like, what's a zero sugar yogurt? Like Oikos, okay? Anything with artificial sugar in it, you do not want it. You don't want that. Boiled egg with fruit and yogurt. Fruit and yogurt. Fruit, yeah, is good right over here. But the yogurt, we're talking dairy yogurt, no. It's going to go in the diesel fuel category. What to use your teas for taste? You can use stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Those are the 3 sweeteners. Stevia, monk fruit, or allulose. Those are the 3. If it ain't any of those 3, man, put it back. What to use for handful of grapes and 1 cup of half of zero fat yogurt. No. Zero fat yogurt, that's all just artificial. Zero fat, that's all artificial stuff. That's all just marketing. Yogurt. Can you have some yogurt? Yeah, every once in a while. Better quality yogurts? Yeah. But I prefer you not have the artificial yogurts, because artificial stuff ain't good. It's going to go in the diesel fuel category. The grapes are good. Again, you can use the grapes, eat the grapes, but you got to use caution. Remember, we got it right here. Eat grapes as a dessert, right? Eat grapes as a dessert. Make protein bagels with, okay, coffee. Coffee is going to be good, right? But here's the thing. It's not the coffee. It's not the coffee by itself. It's the crap it's the diesel fuel that you put into the coffee. That's what makes it terrible. So that's what makes it terrible. All right, let's see here. Berries. Good morning. Monk fruit. Monk fruit is going to go over here. Remember, stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Monk fruit, coffee, yep. What about monk fruit? Yep, stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Those are the 3. Glucerna is definitely diesel. Glucerna right over here. We got it right here. Diesel fuel. Thank you, Southern Jane. What is the special way we can eat toast? Well, the special way you can eat toast is it's the same thing. Like any of these things that have asterisks on them, you want to think of them as a dessert. So when you're looking at your plate, you're going to eat your proteins and your fats first. Then you can eat your toast. So proteins, fats, followed by carbohydrates. It's the order in which you eat your food. So when you talk about toast, you can have toast, but you do it in a very small percentage of the time. And never, and I mean never, eat toast first thing in the morning. With whatever you're pairing it with. If you're pairing it with a fat or a protein, you got to pair it with a fat or a protein. You cannot eat the toast by itself. You can't just wake up in the morning and put some toast and slap some jelly over the top of your toast and go out the house like that. Okay, you do that, it's gonna send your blood sugar real high. So you just got to use caution whenever you're eating. There's more to it, but that's just a little bit of. We talk clean eating plate. That'll answer that question, but yeah. Coffee. What about? Oh, we already did coffee. Pork skins. Pork skins are gonna go. Here's the thing. Ultimately, pork skins. Here's the thing about. I already put pork over here, right? Pork right here. But we're gonna go pork skins. Here's the thing about pork skins. Because a lot of people ask me about pork skins. Pork skins are not going to raise your blood sugar for the diabetic. They're not going to raise your blood sugar, so that's good. But here's the thing. They're going to ultimately tear up your health, though, because pork skins are not a great snack, right? That's the truest definition of diesel fuel. Pork skins. But it's not going to raise your blood sugar. Okay? So that's kind of the weird area. As far as your overall health, not great. What percentage of dark chocolate? It really doesn't matter. Just try to go with the highest percentage as you can, whether it's 80% or more. Try to go the highest percentage of 100%, whatever. Just make sure it's some dark chocolate. What about pork skins? I already got that one. Coconut milk, same thing. Coconut milk is going to go, did we say coconut milk? Coconut milk, okay, right over here. Yeah, coconut milk. We said cocoa milk. I don't think we put that one. But coconut milk. Cocoa milk. Coconut milk's going to be good. Remember, almond milk is the one that's going to go in the diesel fuel category, no matter what. It's going to go in the diesel fuel category. Sorry I joined late. Give me some other good foods from the list to fight sugar cravings. I like app. Just remember, sour has power and bitter is better. Sour has power. So green apples, dark chocolate, a lemon, a lime, anything that's bitter, anything that's sour. Carrots, good one, unleaded, all right. Cranberries can go over here on the unleaded category, but it's the same thing. It's a fruit. It's gonna put it with the same category. Think of cranberries just like how you think of grapes. Yeah, so it's the same thing. Sugar-free Powerade, diesel fuel. Sugar-free Powerade. Anything sugar-free is going to go over here. So sugar-free, 0. So we got 0, and then we got diet. That's all diesel fuel. You don't want to put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine. You've got a real engine. That body of yours is real. I guarantee you, it can run like a well-oiled machine. I promise you it can. It can run like a well-oiled machine if you simply flip your fuel sources, because we're running out. I always try to go until we run out of space, or we're running out of space. But any other foods, let's see. I want to talk to you the difference between how you can fix all this stuff. What about blackberries? Berries are going to go over here. All berries. So berries. Yeah. Good morning. What are some good foods to eat besides sugar? very interesting question. What are some good foods to eat besides sugar? Wow. I don't know if I've ever been asked that one before. I got to keep it real with you. What's better, white rice or brown rice? It doesn't matter. Overall, brown rice is going to be slightly better, but here's the thing. They're going to both raise your blood sugar. Doesn't really matter. They're both going to raise your blood sugar. So it really doesn't matter. What about macaroni elbows with hamburger meat? No. You talking about like hamburger helper? That's what it sounds. That sounds like hamburger. You talking about like some hamburger helper? No. Hamburger helper. Hamburger helper. It's gonna go over there. Dates. Again, we got dates over here. Beef tallow. If you do beef tallow, you can do that. That works for you. If that works for you, we'll put that over here on the unleaded category. What about blackberries? Get that one. Beef stew, cucumber juice. Cucumber juice is good because unleaded, because it is remember, it is a vegetable. You can juice vegetables, but you cannot juice fruit. What about organic date paste syrup? No additives. What about organic date paste or syrup? No additives. Syrup, no. Syrup is going to go over here. Date paste, you can put date paste over here, right? Date paste, well, I'd put that over there on the unleaded category. But if you're just talking about straight up syrup, no. AG1, yeah, AG1. Now, am I saying that AG1 is bad? No, I'm not saying AG1 is bad. But what I am saying is that's a damn ripoff, right? That's not real vitamins that they got in there. It's just a whole bunch of trash with some green coloring over the top. If you want real vitamins, you use what's called methylated multivitamins. Methylated multivitamins. That's a better option. That's what you want. You don't want the regular multivitamins, AG1 and all that other stuff, marketing. Just get yourself a high quality methylated multivitamin. It'll change the game for you. I promise you it will. All right. What about tortillas? Tortillas are going to go, they can go in either category. They can go in either category. All right. Get the highest quality tortillas you can. So just like toast over here, right? The highest quality that you can. But again, eat it in moderation. Don't eat tortillas every day. At every meal, you're eating tortillas. Nah. You want to eat some tortillas once or twice a week? All right, cool. But you ain't eating tortillas every daggone meal 24/7. All right, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt's going to go over here, diesel fuel. I don't see grits or rice. Yeah, grits. Rice is right here. It's going to be the ones with a little asterisk on it. Rice is in here somewhere. Yeah, rice is right here. I forgot to put an asterisk on it. Grits or somewhere. Oh, grits are right over here. Here's where the grits are. Boom. Somebody already beat you to it. Grits. Noodles. That's pasta. Here's the thing. You want to make sure that you get a better quality pasta. Things like lentil pasta or chickpea pasta. Lentil or chickpea pasta. Those are better options. Not the traditional pasta that you can take and you just like, hey, look at this pasta, and you just throw it against the wall and it sticks against the wall. Not that kind of pasta. Rice or grits. Yeah, same thing. We got that already. What about olives? Olives are going to go over here. Great. We already got olive oil. See olive right there. So olives are great. Can someone see me commenting? My account is not allowing me to be shown. I see you. We see you, God Sunflower. Shout out to you. Okay, because I eat toast. Thanks for the information. Shout out to you. You good God's sunflower. You good God's you forgot sunflower maybe? Sunflower, yeah, seeds right here. We got seeds. Any kind of rice, any kind of rice. You just got to use caution. It doesn't matter what kind of rice that you eat. It is still going to raise your blood sugar. So whether it's white rice, whether it's brown rice, whether it's black rice, whether it's wild rice, it's all still going to raise your blood sugar. The only difference is the nutrient contents in each of those different, forms of rice. That's the only difference. So have whatever kind of rice you want. It just use caution. All right. I'll teach you how to eat rice. That's a little bit later. All right. Chia seed pudding. Oh, great. Chia seed pudding right here. Seeds, but chia seed pudding. We got chia seeds on here somewhere. But chia seed pudding is great. Depending on what you're putting in the chia seed pudding. Let me say that though. Let me break that back. If you're putting dairy in your chia seed pudding, then that's not great. Okay. That's not. If you're just filling up on a whole bunch of sugar, put a whole bunch of sugar and honey and syrup and all kinds of stuff on your chia seed pudding, then okay, no, that's not good. But if you're using monk fruit on your chia seed pudding for your sweetener, okay, then we're talking. You know what I mean? Chia pudding, hot sauce. Hot sauce is good. Hot sauce is okay. So we're gonna, because I use some hot sauce. I still love my hot sauce, right? So we're gonna put some hot sauce over here. You can do some hot sauce. A little hot sauce every once in a while ain't gonna hurt nothing. So like I said, I love my hot sauce. I love my spicy. I love my food spicy. I don't know about you, but I love spicy food. You love spicy food. Put them in the chat if you love your food spicy, folks. Radish right over here. Radishes are going to go over here in the unleaded category. No matter what kind of radish that it is, it's a radish. What about pumpkin seeds? Seeds right here, unleaded. Cellulose, V8 drink, lactose-free milk. Lactose-free milk right over here, diesel fuel. That lactose-free milk is going to go over there. Diesel fuel. V8, diesel fuel. That's just marketing. And V8 is freaking nasty. You ever drink a V8? Oh my God. Ugh. It's just marketing. That's all it is, though. It's not a real health drink. Cellulose drinks. Those are going to go over here in the diesel fuel category. Those energy drinks. That's the same thing as a Red Bull, right? You got Red Bull over here. All right, same thing as a Red Bull. It goes in the same categories. Red Bull, you got artificial sugars, too much sugar. Red Bull, a regular Red Bull's got like 60-something grams of sugar in it. Hell of a lot of damn sugar. And the artificial ones got the artificial sugars or sweeteners, which are damaging your overall health. So you want to stay away from the Red Bulls, and you want to stay away from the sugar-free Gatorades, Powerades, all of that stuff. That's all goes in the diesel fuel category, folks. Thank you so much for all the information. You're quite welcome. Coconut water, it depends. This coconut water, you have to look at the back and see how much sugar content it's got. But here's the thing. If it's got a little bit of sugar content, all right, cool. But if it's got like an absurd amount of sugar in it, it's going to go in the diesel fuel category. So it's a juice, right? When we talked about juice, cannot juice, prefer you not juice the your fruit, coconut water included, because it's got a lot of sugar in it still. Thank you so much for the information. Fried cabbage with onions, yeah, you can do that. How you frying this cabbage though? That's a better question. Cabbage is great, but how you frying this cabbage? That would be a better question. Brown collagen in my coffee. You can do that. Brown powder collagen. You can do that. You can do that. Lactose-free milk. No, gonna go in the diesel fuel category. Pears, unleaded. Bitter melon. Okay, right over here. It's a fruit, unleaded. Lactose-free quinoa. Good one. Quinoa is going to go over here. Quinoa. Nobody said quinoa today. So shout out to you for saying quinoa. All right, finally, what else? What do you eat for breakfast? A savory breakfast. Savory breakfast could be like a, here's an example of a savory breakfast. You could say salmon with some asparagus with an avocado on the side. That's a savory breakfast. It could be chicken with broccoli with some nuts and seeds on the side, with some pistachios. That's a savory breakfast. So it's a protein, a fat, and a non-starchy veggie. Protein, fat, non-starchy veggie. There you go. Man, y'all coming in with the questions today, man. We're going to keep going. We almost out of space, so we're going to have to go to another session. I missed so much. No, you don't miss so much. You don't miss so much. You're here now. You're here now. Let me go. We're going to go a couple more. Oh, we'll do a couple more, else we'll be at this game all day. I am so confused. Why are you confused? We're making it simple. Either it's going to fit into two categories. Either it's going to be a diesel fuel or it's going to be the unleaded fuel category. These are the only options when it comes to your fuel sources and the food and the fuel that you choose to fill up. Because remember, think of food like this. Either this food is either helping me or this food is harming me. That's it. Those are the only two options. Either this food is giving me life or this food is taking life away from me. It's one of the two. So with that being said, it's got to go in the diesel fuel or it's got to go in the unleaded category. One or the other. Everything that you eat. We just keeping it real on this one. All right, let's see. If I go to bed hungry, my blood sugar drops. I can't sleep. Help. Here's the thing. What did you eat before you went to bed? If you go to bed hungry, what have you been eating throughout the day? Has your blood sugar been stable throughout the day? Or have you been on that blood sugar roller coaster, which we're going to talk about next? Very first thing that you got to do is you got to clean up your diet. You got to clean up your fuel source. Here it is. You clean up your fuel source, you clean up everything. That's where it all starts. Is unleaded good? Unleaded is the good stuff. You want to fill your car up on unleaded, right? You don't want to fill your car up on diesel fuel because your car is going to break down. So that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate to this. Because we'll be at this forever, right? We play this game all the time. So we just want to see all the different stuff that people can name. But it's going to go in one of these two categories. Let's see. What about protein? All right, here we go. Gatorade. I'm going to do a couple more, and then we're going to go to the next topic, right? What about pancakes? What can I put on instead of syrup? I try to avoid high fructose syrup. Well, I would avoid the pancakes too. All right? That's what I would start by avoiding the pancakes as well. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, pancakes in the morning is not a great breakfast. High fructose corn syrup or not. I miss so much. You fried the cabbage and avocado oil. If you're just like sauteing it on the stove, yeah, you can do that. That's good. I use a little vegetable oil and sometimes a little bacon grease. No, Anita, those are both going to go into the diesel fuel category. You use a little bit of vegetable oil and you use a little bit of leftover bacon grease. You know, the one that sits on the stove, that sits in that little, that little silver tub that your grandma used to have or your mom used to have. The one that sits on the stove and she takes it and dumps a little oil in there in the pot. You don't want that. You don't want that. Either you want avocado, coconut, or olive. If it ain't avocado, coconut, or olive, then get rid of it. Get rid of it. Here it is, folks. Here it is. Thank you for your clarification. You're quite welcome. But here's the thing, folks. No, I had made bacon too. Bacon, either way. Bacon is going to go in the diesel fuel category. Either way. That's where the bacon is going to go. So here's the thing, folks. Protein powder. Protein powders are good. It just depends on the type of protein powder. Prefer you do maybe a plant-based protein powder or a pea protein powder. Don't do the whey. Don't do the whey protein powder. No. So here's the thing, folks. If you need help with this, if you say, listen, I'm struggling with this, man. Like, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do with any of this. I don't know where to start, man. Can you help me? My A1C has been high for way too long. And I know that you're telling me that I've been filling up on the wrong fuel source, and I'm ready to change my fuel source. I'm ready to switch from the diesel fuel to the unleaded fuel. If you're ready to switch from the diesel fuel to the unleaded fuel, put a me in the chat. Put a health yes in the chat if this is making sense to you on what it is that you've got to do, folks. What it is that you've got to do to start bringing your numbers, to change your fuel source, to get your numbers back to where they need to be, to get yourself off of this blood sugar roller coaster. Put a health yes in the chat. If you are going to, you can put your fuel source that you're going to fill up on most of the time now. Are you going to fill up on unleaded, folks, or are you going to fill up on diesel fuel? Which one are you going to fill up on, folks, most of the time? Because right now you got to examine which one am I doing right now? Am I filling up on diesel fuel most of the time, or am I filling up on unleaded? All right, health yes, unleaded, unleaded. Here it is, folks. If you want to know more about this, here's a lot of goodies. Unleaded, there it is. There it is. Health yes. All right, health yeses are coming in. Unleaded, I will try. Right, there is no try, Miss Anita. You ever watch Star Wars Jedi? The Yoda says there is no try. Either do or don't. Okay, either do or don't. I swear there is no try. There is no try. These are what you got to do. This is what you got to do. Here it is. Should you eat the potatoes in moderation since it is a starch? Yup. That's a good point. I didn't put one on the. I did miss that one. An asterisk right there on the potatoes. That is it. That is it. All right, folks. We're done with the fuel sources because we be in this game all day. So I'm telling you, we be here all day just naming out stuff, which category it goes in. But here's the thing. If you want to know more about this, if you want to know how you've been managing this, how you've been managing your fuel source, here's what you can do. You can, right here, take the master. You can register to take the quiz. You go take that quiz. This link in my description, my TikTok description here, has all the goodies in it, folks. You got the quiz. It is a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. Like, you've been doing a great job managing this number, your A1C, like we talked about earlier. Have you been eating what you're supposed to be? Have you been living the right lifestyle? Or have you been kind of slacking off, eating too much diesel fuel? That's what this quiz is going to tell you. There is a masterclass. It's a 45-minute masterclass, absolutely free. Free masterclass. It says, hey, all you got to do is pay attention. Where I break down what? The lifestyle medicine formula, which we're going to end the live with the lifestyle medicine formula a little bit later. So, and then finally, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Here it is right here. You say, I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. I need help with my blood sugar. My blood sugar has not been, I've been on this blood sugar roller coaster for many, many years. And I can't figure out how to get off. I can't find the dang on brakes. Somebody help me, please. I've gone to the doctors. I'm super, super frustrated. I don't know what else to do. I've been dealing with this for 20 years. You've been dealing with this high A1C. Your blood sugar has been out of control for many, many years. Today is the day we're going to change all of that. Today is the day where you can flip the script on that old story. You can tear up that script and write a new story. For my folks who are ready to tear up that script and write a new story, this is the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. What is it? It is a nutrition blueprint. All of this stuff, this diesel fuel and unleaded fuel, I'm going to just show you how to clean it all up. It's a blueprint. It's a blueprint. And then there's another category we didn't even put. Oh, here it is. All the stuff in this category over here is what we're focusing on. I'm just going to teach you how to eat it in such a way that maximizes your blood sugar going back into the normal range. How do I know this? It's because many people have joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Over 300 people have joined this 14-day challenge. And guess what? They're getting some amazing results. People come on here who have, yesterday, someone came on and they told someone they made their testimonials. Theirs went down 1.5 points. 1.5 points from an 8 to a 6.5 after joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. So here's the thing. It's $99 to join this 14-day challenge. But if you use the live discount code ESCAPE, you're joining the challenge for 20% off. So $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Where if you are suffering from insulin resistance, you are suffering from type 2 diabetes, erectile dysfunction, PCOS, prediabetes, borderline diabetes, any of that, if that is you, then you should join this challenge. 14 days, I'm going to take you outside of your comfort zone. We're just going to switch your food. We're just going to change your fuel source. And in 14 days, we'll come back and we're going to check your blood sugar again. And I guarantee you, it's going to look a whole lot different. Some people are taking theirs from a 400, starting off at a 400 to under 100. From a 400 to under 100 in 14 days. From a 366 to under 100 after the 14-day challenge. Doctors taking them off of their medication. I'm not taking them off of their medication. I can't take you off your medication. I'm not the doctor. But I am a nutritionist. I can tell you how to eat. I can't tell you how to eat because it's predominantly what you're eating that's causing you to have high blood sugar. That's what it is. We're talking about sugar and diesel fuel, sugar and all that stuff. I ain't going to sugarcoat it. There's a lot of things that could be hurting your health. There's a lot of things that could be causing you to have high blood sugar. But it's predominantly what you're eating. And in that 14 days, we prove it to you. We prove it to you. No matter how long you've been having this condition, no matter how long you've been having diabetes, whether it be 10 years, like Jazzy had, hers was 10 years, she had diabetes. After the 14-day challenge, 2 weeks, the doctor took her off all of her glipizide, her metformins, and her GLP-1s. After the 14-day challenge. Okay? So that's the point of the 14-day challenge to you, is to prove to you that it's been the food the entire time. It's what you've been eating. If you're ready to take that jump, if you're ready to take that leap, if you're ready to get rid of the diesel fuel for a little while, just for 2 weeks, get rid of diesel fuel for 2 weeks, and you're ready to escape, use that discount code ESCAPE. You're joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for $79 to join that 14-day challenge. That's the live discount code. ESCAPE. All right, let's see. What days and times do you come on? I'm on Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday. Now I'm going to be on every day, I think, this week. I'm going to be on every day this week. But next week, we'll be back Monday through Friday, 8 to noon, right? 8:30 to noon. I thought rice was off limits. Yeah. You hang out with me and I'm going to show you how to eat rice. Right? There's rules that you got to play. There's rules of the game. Let me sit down. Because I've been up for a while and we've been talking about diesel fuel versus unleaded. I thought rice was off limits. Yeah, that's again, the rules of the game. As long as you're following the clean eating plate, it's called the 50-25-25 rule. That's another rule for another day. And we did that one yesterday. But it's called the 50-25-25 rule. You do that, you can have rice, you can have pasta, you can have all of that stuff. See, that's the kind of stuff that I teach you. I teach you how to eat, folks. I don't just teach you what to eat. In my programs, we teach you how to eat. Once you learn how to eat, it's easy. Once you learn how to eat and that light bulb comes on, you know, oh yeah, that makes sense. What daisy? Come on. How much is it? Yep, $79 if you use that live discount code ESCAPE, because you are going to escape that blood sugar roller coaster. It's a live discount code. Maybe next time, no doubt. Explain rice. Yep, I just broke down rice. Right? What's up, Bridget? Thank you for the information. You're quite welcome. Good work, young man. Thank you, Javi. Thank you for coming on to my live and saying such nice words. It's very, very nice words. But here it is. Here it is, folks. When it comes to this little thing called type 2 diabetes, when it comes to that, I mean, time lost to diabetes is time you never get back. Here it is. What do I mean by that? Time lost to diabetes is time that you'll never get back. I mean, when they say it's time to amputate, when they say it's time to, when the neuropathy is kicked in too much, somebody wants a picture of it. When the neuropathy is kicked in too much, when the neuropathy is kicked in and when the everything is kicked in, when they say it's time to lose your vision, when they say it's time to amputate, there it is. That's the time you can't get back. That's what I mean by time. Quite welcome, Lady Rose. You can get a refund on money, but not time. Keep waiting, and diabetes is going to steal your time away. I'm going to say that again. You can get a refill on money, but not on time. Keep waiting, and diabetes is going to steal your time away. I told you earlier, I lost my sister to this condition called type 2 diabetes 2 years ago in her sleep. This condition is not a game, folks. Having insulin resistance, we did the little game over here. We played a little game with like diesel fuel and unleaded. That was cool and all that stuff. That's a fun game. But here's the thing. When it comes to insulin resistance and diabetes, it's not playing a game. It's serious. And depending on how you play that game will determine if you're going to be in great health or if you're going to be in good health. And what determines all that? What determines all that is your lifestyle. What determines that is what's at the end of your fork. What determines that is if you're on that blood sugar roller coaster or not. And you do not want to be on the blood sugar roller coaster, which we're going to talk about next. You want to get yourself off of that roller coaster. A lot of people always ask me, hey, Kelley, well, what about, am I too old? Well, what about time? Have I had it for 15 years? Is it too late? My number's at a 14. Is it too late? It's never, the only time that it's too late, it's when it's too late. Only time it's too late is when they're putting dirt over the top of you. But if you're still kicking, it's never too late. Shout out to you, Dr. Elijah. But if you're still kicking, it's never too late. Just like it was for me. I'm gonna show you me. If you're just joining us, my name's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. But here's the thing. I wasn't always a nutritionist. I wasn't always a health coach. Because a few years ago, I was actually in the worst shape of my life. Look at that. That's called diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. If you're just joining us, that's called diabetes, heart disease, and obesity right there. All at the very 2 weeks. 2 weeks after I took this picture is when I got my diagnosis. 2 weeks look. You think I'd be smiling like that had I known 2 weeks later I was going to get diagnosed with heart disease, obesity, and diabetes? No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Look at that. That's called before and after. So how do I know that this condition is reversible? It's because I no longer have diabetes. I no longer have heart disease. And as you can tell, I'm no longer obese. I'm wearing the same clothes to let you know, listen, this is how much weight I lost. Look at the difference in the difference in the mentalities. From diesel fuel, this is all diesel fuel, right? Being lazy, being at the beach. You can go to the beach, but here's what I'm saying. That's all I was doing. It's hanging out. Now, look at this one, eating a whole bunch of unleaded. Now I'm at the gym. Now look how my body's changed. You see what I'm saying, folks? All I changed was my fuel source. I didn't change anything else. I was still working out. I was still eating good. I was still working out. I was still sleeping good. I was sleeping like a champ. But here's the thing. I was eating like a slob, though. That's what I was eating like. I was eating like it was running out of style. And if you eat like it's running out of style, You're going to get that same result that I got. Overweight, obese, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, all of that stuff. But here's the thing. I just changed my fuel source. Changed the fuel source from the diesel fuel to the unleaded. And as a result, no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. I didn't change. I was still working out. I was more consistent in my workouts. But I didn't change my workouts. So I told you I'd prove it to you. I'd prove it to you that it's simply what you're eating. If you change what you're eating, I guarantee you, if you have type 2 diabetes, that thing will start to go away quickly, just like it did for many of my clients. Like I said, someone went from an 8 to a 6 in 14 days. Someone went from a 7.1 to a 5.7. Their A1C in 14 days, 1.5. Had someone yesterday, Janet came on yesterday, 1.5, and she's 80. Hers dropped to 1.5 after the 14-day challenge. 1.5. She's 80 years old. So it doesn't matter how old you are. All that matters is your body wants to heal. That's all that matters. So if you take advantage of, that's all your body wants to do is heal. All you got to do is give it the food that it wants, that it needs, and it will heal itself. That's all your body wants. For real, for real. How? Here's how. You clean up your fuel source. Second thing is you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you need help cleaning up your fuel source, if you need help doing this, you say, Kelley, I don't know. I'm confused, man. I need help. I know that you got a 14-day challenge. It's a blueprint. How do I get on board with this blueprint? Here's how you get on board with this blueprint. Follow along with me, folks. If you click right up here, and then you click on my picture again, it's going to take you to my TikTok. It's going to take you to TikTok right here on TikTok. See that link that says Linktree? You click on that link. Here it is right here. There's the quiz, masterclass, all free stuff, folks. But if you're ready for change, if you've gotten to the point where you say change is not just desired, it's downright necessary, then you should join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you lie awake at night wondering if diabetes is going to steal your future, because it will steal your time, if it's going to take away your time, if you're ready to take control of your blood sugar, join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Right? That's what it is. It's a blueprint. What others are saying, I told you what the other folks are saying. Thank you, Laura. The other folks are saying, not even saying, they're coming back with their results, and the results are mind-boggling. Like we're blowing doctors' minds down here. That's what we do. We blow doctors' minds. When you go back to your doctor's going to be like, what in the hell? How the hell did you do this? How the hell did you lower your A1C 1.5 since the last time I saw you? How'd you lower your A1C 2 points? You were just here 2 weeks ago. How did you do that? They did it through the power of food, through the power of nutrition, because the food is the medicine and the medicine is the food. If you need help with this, join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's $79 to join that challenge when you use that live discount code ESCAPE. Use the live discount code ESCAPE. That's what it is, $79 to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Where? It's basically going to be a boot camp. It's called a reset, 14-day reset. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, everybody who's gone through this is suffering from insulin resistance, okay? High blood sugar, prediabetes, gestational diabetes, erectile dysfunction, PCOS. If you insulin resistance, if you are suffering from that, if you have that condition, and you say, I don't want to have this condition anymore, then the 14-day challenge is calling your name. Let's see. You want to join that challenge? Use that discount code ESCAPE. 3 months from diabetic hospitalization, went from 11.1 to a 7.6. I'm on board. Yeah. 3 months from diabetic hospitalization, went from 11.6 to a 7.6. I'm on board. Yeah. If you're on board, Brandy, join the challenge. Come on, accept the challenge. We're going to take it to the next level. All right. We're going to blow your doctor's mind. Not only your doctor's mind, but your mind. You're going to be so much better for it. Your blood sugar will never look the same once you finish that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Have to wait. All good. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff on my page. There's a quiz on my page. It's absolutely free. There's a master class. It's absolutely free. In that master class, I break down the lifestyle medicine formula. Having a peaceful mind, having an active body, clean eating, effective sleep. That's what we're going to go over next. Those are the 4 areas. So those are the things that you got to do, folks, to get yourself, to get off of the blood sugar roller coaster, to get your life back. You're going to have to put in some work. This work is what most people are like, yeah, man, I don't want to do that work. I'm going to avoid that work as much as you possibly can. Well, what work is that? That work is called lifestyle medicine. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing about type 2 diabetes, folks, and high blood sugar. It is a dietary and lifestyle driven condition. Unless it was caused by some steroids, stuff like that, some other medications. Unless it was caused by that, here it is. It is a dietary and lifestyle driven condition. You cannot fix it with the diet and lifestyle first. Then we can talk about the medication. So a lot of people always ask me, hey, Kelley, well, how did you do it? How? What do you do? What do you do? That's where it starts. It starts with your lifestyle, but it mainly starts with the food that you're eating. If you ask me, well, what the hell, where do I start? You start with the fuel source that you are choosing to run on. You start there, and I guarantee you, you're going to see a whole lot of changes, no matter how old you are. Because here's the thing. I want y'all to remember. Jot this one down. If you don't remember anything that I teach you from this live, here's what I want you to remember. Jot this one down. Get your pen and pad. Here it is. Just carry this with you for the rest of your life. That when the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Did that one settle in on you, folks? If it didn't settle in, I'm gonna say it to you again. I'm gonna put some bars. These are called bars. When the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. If you don't remember anything that I tell you from this whole life about diesel fuel and unleaded fuel and A1C and all that stuff, you don't remember anything I teach you from that. Just remember that, though. It's predominantly what you're eating. I'm telling you it is. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Hang out with me for 2 weeks. Because the food is the medicine, and the medicine is the food. You can take medication until you're blue in the face, just like this. You can take all the medication in the world till you're blue in the face. But when your diet is wrong, it ain't gonna make a damn difference. Blue in the face. When your lifestyle is wrong, you can take all that meds till you're blue in the face. And it won't make a damn difference. Only thing is, you'll just be scheduling another appointment with your doctor later on. Oh, I just got to schedule another appointment. I got to schedule another appointment. We got this schedule. I got this surgery schedule. I got that. They want to try some new drug on me. Some experimental drug. Here's the thing. I think medication is very, very, very important if you need it. But most people don't need it. Keep what I said. I think medication is very important if you need it. But most of the time, you don't need it. Here's what you need most of the time. You just need to fill up on unleaded fuel most of the time. Mostly. If most folks ate unleaded 90% of the time, diabetes, type 2 diabetes would cease to exist, folks. Did y'all know that? It's interesting. Here's a fun fact. This is the funnest fact you'll ever hear. If most people filled up on unleaded fuel most of the time, unleaded right over here, diabetes would cease to exist. If you don't believe me, just look up some of these stories. A lot of you do get conflicting information, and it's confusing. It causes confusion. Well, let's clean up the fusion. Let's clean up the confusion. Oh, you want me to say that again? I'm going to clean up the confusion. If most of the world filled up on unleaded fuel most of the time, this fuel source over here, diabetes would cease to exist. I'm gonna put it in. See if you can see it. Because we did a little game earlier. Here's some of the stuff. Maybe if you can take a screenshot and zoom in. If the world filled up on most of this is a fun fact. If the world, most of the people in the world, everybody filled up on this most of the time, like 90% of the time, I'm saying, diabetes will cease to exist. All these conditions will cease to exist. It's because the whole time, there's a lot of things that could be causing you to have poor health, folks. But for real, it's predominantly what you are eating. It's predominantly what you're eating. So let's talk about so that's it. That's what we're going to clean up the confusion. User 323. It's what you're eating. It's the medication. It should be lifestyle first, medication second. You cannot fix it with the diet and lifestyle first. Okay, then we can talk about the medication. Because it's the same thing I did. It's the same thing I know that works. A lot of people come to me and I'm telling you, they tried everything. They try everything that they can. Let me get some water. They try everything that they can not to be able to face what's right in front of them. They're going to resist it as much as they possibly can. And what is that? Doing the work. To get rid of diabetes, folks, type 2 diabetes, you're going to have to do some work. And it's called changing your lifestyle and your stress management, activity, eating, sleeping. You're going to have to get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster. And you do it in those 4 areas. I'm going to go to the board here and I'm going to show you next on how to get off of that blood sugar roller coaster. But if you need help with this, folks, you need help with this changing your fuel source. Like you don't know what to eat. Your blood sugar's just been out of control forever. It's everywhere. Okay. It's the up, the down. You can't get it under 250 no matter how hard you tried. You tried and you just can't do it. You've worked with your doctor. Like I had someone come on yesterday. These are real stories. These are not my stories. These are your stories. She came on yesterday and said that she put in the chat yesterday. She told us that she'd been working with her doctor for 2 years, trying to get her number down from an 8. It's been at an 8 for 2 years. Since she started going to the doctor, and they tried everything, and it still wouldn't go down. But after she joined the 14-day challenge, and we cleaned up her eating, now she goes back to the doctor. Yesterday, she reported that her A1C went down 1.5 from an 8 to a 6.6. From an 8 to a 6.6. And check this out. She's 80 years old. 80. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're 18, 80, 24, 17, 45, whatever. 53. Doesn't matter how old you are. Only thing that matters is you're giving your body the right fuel source, the right fuel that it needs, and it will respond because that's what it wants to do. It wants to survive. Your body wants to survive at all costs. You may be thinking about partying and working and hanging out and doing this and worried about that and this and that and that. Your body only cares about one thing. This organism, your organism only cares about one thing. And that one thing only. It's called survival. That's what it's called. Survival. So your body wants to survive at all costs. Your body wants to operate at, the scientific word is homeostasis. Homeostasis. So you give your body what it wants and as little as what it needs. And as little as 14 days, there have been people who have put a huge dent in their A1C in the 14-day challenge. From an 8 to a 6 in 14 days. I just told you about Janet yesterday. So somebody got out there from a 400. They was at a 400. They joined the 14-day challenge. Now they're below 100. Okay? They send me the emails that I get, folks. You love these. If I showed you these emails, my emails, you'd be like, yo, those are some crazy emails. Crazy emails in the sense that like what people's numbers are doing. Just by joining this 14-day challenge. We're just going to clean up your eating. That's it. If you're ready to get your eating cleaned up, if you're ready to get off of that blood sugar roller coaster, if you've been doing this thing for 10 years, you still ain't figured out how to do it yet, you need some help. You need some help. You hang out with me for 14 days. You join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use the discount code ESCAPE, and it's 20% off. It's $79 to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Where is it? Links in my bio if you want to check it out more. So here, and then click on my picture again. There it is. That's what a 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is. Late, but very interesting. Okay, yep. Do you think the Mediterranean diet is good? Mediterranean diet is good. Yeah, Mediterranean diet is, but again, it's not really about the Mediterranean diet. It's more so about what are you filling up on most of the time. But Mediterranean diet, you can roll with that one. Is that water sugar-free? Is what water sugar-free? Is that water sugar-free? I hope your water's sugar-free, right? I don't know what you mean. Is that water sugar-free? What water sugar-free? Why not bacon and pork? Well, bacon and pork, let's go. Bacon is a group one carcinogen. Those are processed meats. Things like bacon, salami, sausages. Those are called group 1 carcinogens. You don't want to eat a group 1 carcinogen, right? What's a group 1 carcinogen? Well, it simply means that they've been known to cause cancer. That's what it means to be a group 1 carcinogen. It means that there have been over 800 studies that saying eating things like bacon and salami and sausages and pepperonis quite too often, has been known to cause cancer. So those are group 1 carcinogens. It's the same category as, say, cigarette smoke, right? Okay. Bacon. When you think of bacon, you think of cigarette. It's the same thing. See how they got warning signs on the cigarettes about what this could do to you? There's been debates. They haven't done it yet, but there's been debates if they should put those same warning signs on things like bacon. But they ain't gonna do it because they're gonna lose a hell of money. You put that on the bacon, the warning, people still going to eat it. Don't get me wrong. Warning, this can cause, this is a group 1 carcinogen. People still going to eat it, just like people still smoke cigarettes. So, but that's the same category as bacon, salami, pepperonis, group 1 carcinogens. Yep, lifestyle change. That's it. That's the only way you're going to get through it, folks. The more you resist it, the more it will persist. So what you resist, it will persist. So when you resist doing the work, yeah, it's going to persist. Kelley Gilberry, yeah. You missed the E in my name, though, but Kelley, yeah, E-Y. Yeah, you got it. What's the substitute for bacon in the morning? Well, anything out of this category over here. You've got salmon, you've got eggs, you've got steak, you've got turkey, you've got tofu, you've got tempeh, you've got what else? Chicken. Did I say chicken? Yeah, you got chicken. You got a lot of different choices. Make sure it's the leaner sources. Make sure it's the leaner sources of protein, not the processed ones. Those are called processed meats. Bacon is a processed meat. Sausage is a processed meat. Chicken, that's not, right? It is, but it isn't. You get what I'm saying? Think of bacon as like ultra processed. Is turkey bacon okay? No, it's not. It's the same thing. Goes in the same category. Same category as regular bacon. These are still group 1 carcinogens. Shaq, what up? Good morning, boss man. When are you going high blood pressure challenge? It's going to be the same thing, right? So if you got high blood pressure, it's the same thing. If you've got high blood sugar, if you've got high blood pressure, they're running the same family. I had my cousin on here earlier. He came on, introduced, said, what's up? We're running the same family. We got the same bloodline. So high blood pressure, high blood sugar, they run together. So the high blood sugar challenge is going to be the high blood sugar challenge. We're resetting your health, man. That's what we're resetting. We're resetting your health. You reset the blood sugar, you reset everything else, because everything stems from the blood sugar. You got high blood sugar, you fix everything else. If you want to join that challenge, boss, you can join that challenge. Use that discount code ESCAPE, because it's what you're going to do. You're going to escape. What are you escaping? You're escaping a dang on matrix. You're escaping the endless, bottomless pit of more and more medication. That's what you're going to be escaping. See, a lot of people got to wait till they get to that day. Okay, I got it. I got both with high cholesterol. Yeah, they're one and the same. I told you they run together. They run in the same group. My A1C is 14, recently diagnosed. If you're 14, if your A1C is a 14, what is your name? Me or Roach? Here's what I'll tell you. You need to take action. Not now. You don't need to take action right now. You need to take action right now. Not now, but right now. It's when you need to take action. Because 14 is no joke. 14 means your blood sugar is super, super high all the time. And you've got an extreme amount of insulin resistance. And with insulin being the most important hormone in the body, your A1C being at 14 is not good. You got to take what's called a blood sugar shower, is what I call it. Call it blood sugar shower. Each day, depending on what you eat, you're going to make that number either go down or you make it go up. Every day. People who have hung out with me on that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, they've taken their numbers down from 3 points. So say if you're at 14, they've taken it down to an 11. This is after doing the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is the power of food, folks. We ain't doing anything special. I ain't doing anything special in the challenge. Am I taking you outside of your comfort zone? Yeah. But all we're doing is eating real food. Just showing you how to eat it in the right order. You eat the real food in the right order, your blood sugar will respond. I think you should join that challenge. Use that discount code, ESCAPE. My A1C is a 15.5 and my blood sugar is 320. Yeah, that sounds about right. Your A1C is a 15.5. Your blood sugar is going to be at about a 320. That's about right. That is dangerously high. We talked about 14 being dangerously high. 15.5 is even higher than that. So you can imagine. Here's what that number means, folks. That means the higher the number is, the faster you're checking out of here. So it means that you need to do something about a 320 right now. It means you need to take action right now, because the time for games is not over. I mean, the time for games is over. We played long enough, but when we're at a 320, you shouldn't even play the radio. Playtime's over. You ever watch The Last Dragon when he said, when Shonuff comes in here, he says, "Playtime's over, boy." Playtime should be over. Can you eat pickles? Yes, you can. You can eat pickles. I changed my diet and I went to a 224 after 1 week. Yeah, after 1 week, exactly. Look at that. Look at that. She just said that they were at a 320, 515, and after a week they changed their diet and it dropped to over 100 points. Dropped 100 points. You see what I'm saying, folks? It's predominantly what you're eating. It's what you're eating. I'm on everything. On everything. I ain't gonna try to sugarcoat it. I don't know the easiest way to say it. The easiest way that I can say it is this. It's a lot of things that could be hurting your health, a lot of things that could be causing your blood sugar to go crazy. But it's predominantly what you eat and what you are eating. You change that up, I promise you, you'll just be just like Poetry Face right here. Poetry Faces. If you're ready to get off of that blood sugar roller coaster and get your numbers back to where they need to be, use that discount code, join that challenge. Can we see a sample of the materials in the challenge? Have you clicked on the challenge page? You clicked on the challenge page, it's going to tell you everything that's in there. Here it is. If you clicked on it, here it is. There it is. Click right here, and it's going to tell you, accept right here. It'll tell you what you get. Here's what you get. All the stuff that you get right there. Everything that is there. All the stuff that's there. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. So it'll tell you all the stuff that's there. But essentially, what you're getting in the challenge, you're getting a blueprint. You're getting a blueprint that says, what food should I be eating off of this list? Because we're going to give you the list. What food should I be eating off of this unleaded list? All the foods from over here. And what order should I eat them in? That's what we're doing. It's as simple as that. That's what we're doing in the challenge. What the order is very, very important. The order in which you eat your food. You do that, the right food in the right order, your body will go under a little construction. It'll start fixing itself. Even after about a week. You saw somebody just said that what happened to them in a week. Imagine 2 weeks. Imagine 2 weeks. That's what we do in this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You're going to see numbers that you haven't seen in many years. You're going to be like, yo, I haven't seen my numbers this low in many years. Like, what do I do? You're going to be like, after doing the challenge, you're going to be like, what do I do with all this energy? What do I do? I don't know what to do with all this energy. Yeah, should I go jump some rope? Should I go play Frisbee with my kids? I don't know what I should do. What should I do? Here it is. Cut out sugar. Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you so much for the information. You're quite welcome. Do supplements like berberine help, or are they good for you? They do help. They do help. They help with curbing your appetite. Yeah, they do help with that. But what the end all be all is your nutrition. Yeah. But you can use apple cider vinegar, berberine. You can use that stuff as tools. I think somebody said yerba mate tea earlier. You can use that as a tool. You can use those as add-ons. Those are bonuses, add-ons. But the end all be all is right here. Filling up on that unleaded fuel. You fill up on that most of the time. That's the end all be all. I broke the A1C machine. It would not read the 15.5. Had to find out through a blood test. Yeah. I would imagine that it wouldn't read a 15.5 because a 15.5 is crazy high. That's crazy high. With the diet, maybe 100 by Saturday. Yeah, you can do 100 by Saturday. I'm telling you, it's the diet. It's the diet, folks. You can get to 100. You can, if you say that you're going to do it, you can do it. Fasting too. Yeah, fasting is in the 14-day challenge. We do fasting in the 14-day challenge. We do. We do it strategically, though. We do strategic fasting in the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge because you got to train yourself to fast. So that's a good question. We're going to talk about that blood sugar roller coaster, and we're going to talk about fasting. But yes, we do fasting in the 14-day challenge. Is hibiscus tea right water? Is hibiscus tea a right water? Can you have hibiscus tea? Yeah, hibiscus tea is great. I'm not sure the question. Yeah. But yeah, after 2 weeks, yeah, that's it. After 2 weeks, poetry faces. Like I said, there's been many people who have joined this 14-day challenge. 300 people have joined this challenge. Over 300 people have joined this 14-day challenge. It's a blueprint. So if you show up, you do the work, just like everybody else is, you're going to get the same or similar results just like they got. But you're going to have to get outside of your comfort zone. Here's the thing. Delaying it equals more pain. Use your time now and pay the price later. You've got time now. You've got time to take action against type 2 diabetes. You've got time. So, but delaying it equals more pain. You're already in a lot of pain. If you're already in a lot of pain, why the hell delay it even more? Use your time now or pay the price later. What price are we going to have to pay later? When they say the neuropathy has gotten too bad and we've got to amputate. When they say the eyesight is going too bad, too much, now you lost your vision. When they say you've lost your kidneys function, it's too late. That's the price you're going to have to pay later. But if you use your time wisely right now, I promise you, you ain't got to worry about meeting that fate. You don't want that fate. Can you have sourdough bread? Sourdough bread is going to be over here, but in moderation, right? Moderation. Where can I get the challenge? Here's where you get the challenge. Click right up here. And then you click on my picture again. Here's where you get the challenge. It's right here. You see that link that says Linktree? There's a link that says Linktree. Click on it. Oh, having a tough time. But anyhow, it says Linktree right there. There it is. This link is like Disney World, folks. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, this is going to be your new Disney World. You remember when you were a kid and they were like, hey, your parents took you to Disney World, or maybe you've even taken your kids to Disney World. Maybe you have, you know? Well, it's the greatest place on earth for a kid. Well, as an adult, if you're suffering from insulin type 2 diabetes, this link is going to be your new Disney World. Because there's the quiz, there's the masterclass, and there's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge right there. In this challenge, that's what we talked about, taking you outside of your comfort zone. A lot of people say, I've tried everything. Nothing has worked. No, you ain't tried everything. You ain't tried everything, because here's what other people are saying. Here's what other people are saying. And here's what they're getting. Crazy results in 14 days. That's what's happening. Why? Because it's a proven blueprint. Why? Because your body wants to heal. Your body doesn't want to have high blood sugar. I promise you, it doesn't. Doesn't want to have high blood sugar. Hang out with me for 14 days. This is going to be a whole different experience. Use that discount code ESCAPE. $99 to join the challenge. Oh, I'm sorry. $79 to join the challenge. When you use that discount code ESCAPE. Why? It's because you are going to be escaping the highs and the lows, the blood sugar all of that stuff. So use the live discount code ESCAPE, $79. Join that 14-day challenge. Live discount code. That's where you get the challenge from. Matt Flower. How fast you get? How fast when taking insulin, just walking up? Fast sugar just now 109. I'd be worried. I don't know. I don't really know how the question is worded. If you're taking insulin, and when should you be worried? You're at a 109. I'm not entirely sure. Are you worried about low blood sugar? Yeah, if you're worried about low blood sugar, I get it. If you're okay, that makes sense. If you're stacking up on the insulin, yeah, you got to be low. You got to be worried about the low blood sugar, because what's insulin doing, especially at nighttime, when you take that, if you have high blood sugar at night, you take yourself some fast-acting insulin, it's just going to cause your blood sugar to drop tremendously. The more and more you do it, it's going to cause your blood sugar to drop. The more and more you give yourself, the more and more it's going to drop. So that's why you're on that blood sugar roller coaster. It may go real high, you use some insulin, and it goes real low. It goes low. Then you have some sugar or something, and you make it go up again, and this is like an endless roller coaster. You want to get yourself off of that roller coaster, which we can ready to talk about right now. Thank you for saying that. That roller coaster, that's called the blood sugar roller coaster. You want to get yourself off of that. Rosemary tea, thanks. Did you talk about sweet potatoes? I did talk about sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are right over here. That's going to go in the unleaded category, right? But there's specific rules you got to follow when it comes to sweet potatoes. That's a different day. That's on the clean eating plate. You were talking about fasting. I was talking about fasting for a little bit. So here we go. Now let's talk about this blood sugar roller coaster, folks. This is what you're going to have to get yourself off of. We back at it. You're going to have to get yourself off of this blood sugar roller coaster. Bring this a little bit closer. Now that we know the difference between the fuel sources, diesel versus unleaded, we're going to have to get ourselves off of this blood sugar roller coaster. The highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, all of that stuff. Let's play another game. Man, my board's looking a little raggedy. Hold on. We're about to play another game. It's about time for a new board, folks. Okay. Here it is. Now, we're going to talk about that roller coaster. Who's always tired? Who's always got the low blood sugar, the high blood sugar? Maybe you got some energy, then maybe you lose some energy. You got energy, low energy, high energy. You're hungry. You got sugar cravings. Put a me in the chat. You get hungry, you get sugar cravings. Put a me in the chat. Put a me in the chat. In the meantime, folks, if you want to join that 14-day challenge, use that discount code ESCAPE. You know the discount code to join that 14. That's the live discount code to join that challenge for $79. Okay, we got a couple of me's. The blood sugar roller coaster. What is it? Who knows what their blood sugar should be? Who knows what range should your blood sugar be? Should it be like, what's a normal range? People always ask me, well, what's a normal range for a diabetic? Who knows what the normal range is? Is it maybe like 150 to 180? Is that a normal range for a person who's a diabetic? Is it maybe like 125 to 180, 250 to, you know what I mean? Is it like 40 to 60? Like, what's the normal range? What do we think? 70 to 140, 115 to 120. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? We got 115 to 120, 70 to 140. Let's see if we got anything else. Here it is. Your blood sugar should be between 70 and 100. No matter who you are, if you're suffering from insulin resistance or whatever, and you are a human being, type 2 diabetes or not, the normal blood sugar range for a human being is between 70 and 100. So your blood sugar should be like right around here, like all the time. It's flowing like, yeah, maybe go up and down, but between 70 and 100. You know what I'm saying? You might eat a little bit of food. You eat some food, it may go up to like 120 or so, but it should come right back down right after that. Maybe get something like 120, but it should come back right back within a couple of hours. That is normal blood sugar. That's what your normal blood sugar is supposed to be. It's supposed to be nice and smooth. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, folks. That's not how it actually goes. Let me get my eraser. That's not how it actually goes. Here's how it actually goes. Who can tell me what happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat fats? Whenever you eat fat, folks, what happens to your blood sugar? Who can tell me? What happens? Does your blood sugar stay the same? Things like avocados, nuts and seeds, olive oil. Like what happens to your blood sugar at that point, folks? Who can tell me? Does it go high? Does it go stay the same? Stay steady. Yep, that's it. That's it. Stay steady, just like this. You eat fats, I mean, your blood sugar is going to stay pretty steady. Now, that's fats. Now, what happens whenever you eat protein? Things like chicken, turkey, salmon, tofu, tempeh. What happens at that point? We're going to get some spikes or what? What's going to happen when we eat protein? Who can tell me? What happens when you eat protein? Stay steady, okay? Folks, this is why you're always tired. This is why you're always hungry. It's because you're on a blood sugar roller coaster. But here's the thing. Whenever you eat protein, not much happens. Yeah, it does raise. Yeah, it does go up a little bit. But it's not anything that you can't handle. It's not anything that, it's going to take yourself out of range. So it goes up a little bit, but it's nothing that you can't handle. So that's protein. Okay. Now, that's protein and fats. Now we're going to find out about this roller coaster. Do me a favor, folks, and tell me what happens whenever you eat things like pasta, carbohydrates, things like rice, lasagna, pizza, tomatoes, tamales, and then people were talking about tamales earlier, right? What happens when you eat that? What happens to your blood sugar? Cereal? What happens to your blood sugar then? Off the chart, spikes? Yep. Off the chart, spikes. So you put yourself on what's called a blood sugar roller coaster at that point. When it spikes, here's what's happening. Let's just say this is a normal day. I'm going to paint the picture of a day. Let's just say you wake up in the morning, it's 8 a.m., and your blood sugar is at a perfect 85. Who'd love to have their blood sugar at an 85? You wake up in the morning, your blood sugar is at a perfect 85. Who'd love to have that? Right? You'd love to have your blood sugar at a perfect 85. And in the morning time, who'd love to have that? Put a me in the chat. Put a me in the chat if you'd love to have your blood sugar at a perfect 85. Yeah, okay. But here's the thing. Let's just say you wake up in the morning and your blood sugar is at a perfect 85 and you eat a ho-ho Twinkie. A ho-ho Twinkie, a ding dong, a donut. You eat that first thing in the morning. What's going to happen to your blood sugar? You eat that junky cereal first thing in the morning, man. What's going to happen to your blood sugar? Oh, yeah. It's going to go high. And then that's when you're going to get a surge of energy. Like, oh, yeah, I got energy. Yeah, great. But here's the thing. As quickly as it went up, as quickly as it's going to come crashing back down. And you're going to be like, oh, damn. You're going to start feeling like crap around this time. 10 a.m. in the morning time. This is a normal day. You're at the office, 10 a.m. And then what do you do at that point? Oh, yeah. You go to the vending machine. Since you're hungry, your energy's crashing. You go to the vending machine. I need a new marker. I need a new red marker. Here we go. Got a new one. Throw that one away. You go to the vending machine. You go get yourself a Snicker bar. You go get yourself some diesel fuel. We talked about diesel and unleaded earlier. You go get yourself some diesel fuel. You fill up on that, and it's going to cause your blood sugar to rise. And just as quickly as it goes up, guess what? Now it's going to start crashing again. Now you're at lunchtime. You're at the office, and it's lunchtime. You're hanging out with your coworkers. You guys go out to lunch. Now look, your blood sugar's crashing. When do y'all go to lunch? Y'all go to some buffet? Maybe you go to Popeyes. Maybe you go to KFC. Maybe, like I said, maybe you go to a buffet, Golden Corral. Maybe you go have some pizza for lunch. Maybe it's one of those lunches where we're like, hey, we're dining in for lunch because the boss is here and we got to have a lunch where we work through meeting, a working lunch. So what do you order? Oh yeah, pizza. So you order pizza with a salad on the side. And then your blood sugar goes back up. And then it starts to come down again. 3 p.m. after you had your big lunch. Who can tell me what happens every day at the office at 3 p.m.? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling energetic? Like, how you feeling that day? It's 3 p.m. and you're at your cubicle. You're like, oh, man, it's 3 p.m. Like, how you feeling, folks? What's going to happen? Okay, somebody said a crash. How you feeling at 3 p.m.? Participate, folks. How you feeling? You're at the office. Come on, you're at the office. And it's 3 p.m. How you feeling, after this whole long day right here? Oh, somebody's feeling tired, sleepy, hungry. Yeah, you're feeling hungry. You're feeling tired. You're feeling sleepy. One of those three. Why? Because you're on a blood sugar roller coaster. That's why. It's because your blood sugar is probably tanking again, right? After that big old heavy lunch that you had. So it may have went up from all the chicken. You went to Popeyes and here's what you went to Popeyes and you had the red beans and rice with the 2-piece dark spicy. It had a bunch of flour on it. And then you got the biscuit with it. And then you use the honey over the top. And then you wash it all down with a Hawaiian punch. When you go to Popeyes. Okay. So what's going to happen when you do that is your blood sugar is going to go really, really high. And it's going to come tumbling down. And you're going to feel tired again. And then now you want a snack. So now you go to the break room and you may get yourself some coffee. That's a good point. Now it's time for coffee. You can get yourself some coffee, throw a whole bunch of sugar in it, 3 p.m. Or you go in there, you get one of the donuts. Your coworker who loves to bring the donuts. You know the one. So you go grab one of those donuts and you put it in the microwave for 10 seconds and you eat that donut. And now your blood sugar is back high again. Right? Then it comes tumbling down again. Now it's 7 p.m., folks. It's 7 p.m. at night. What's for dinner tonight? Okay, well, what's for dinner? Oh, yeah. You get home and your spouse, they cook something really carby, right? Maybe it's spaghettis for dinner. Maybe it's lasagna. And you can't have that without the garlic bread. You got to have the garlic bread, right? Or maybe it's pizza again. Like, Like, I ain't cooking tonight, so we're going to order some pizza. We're going to order some takeout. We're going to order some, whatever. And guess what happens? Now your blood sugar goes up again, dinner time. And then, check it out. It goes up and then it comes crashing down again. Now it's 9:15. Who can tell me what happens at 9:15? You're watching your favorite Netflix show. Maybe you're watching Love is Blind. Maybe you're watching The Witcher. Maybe you're watching Stranger Things on Netflix at 9:15. Okay. What's going to happen at that point? How are you feeling at that point? 9:15, you're watching your show. You know what I mean? You watching Family Feud at nighttime. You watching the news at nighttime. You watching the local news at 9:15. What time is it? Okay, popcorn time. Left over from lunch. Okay, yep. Can it go higher than 140? 140 is where you wanted to max out. You don't want it to go over that. That's like the max, right? That's the max. You don't want it to go over that. If it does go over 140, it's going to stay there for a very short period of time. You don't want it to stay there for long. It's going to come down. But that's like the max. But here's the thing. If you're already waking up in the morning, yours is already, you at 150 in the morning, you at 200 in the morning, that's a problem already. You ain't even start your day yet, and you're already over 200. You're already over 150. But yeah, that's it. Evening snack. Yep, that's it. Some snacks. Popcorn, ice cream. Yep, big bucket of ice cream. That's it. Popcorn, yeah, we get it. Okay, yeah. Now you don't get it. Because here's why. And you go grab the snack, and now your blood sugar goes up again. Now it's still high. Now it's 10 p.m. Then what? If your blood sugar is still high after that snack you just had at 10 p.m., now what? It's bedtime, but your blood sugar's high. 10 p.m. or bedtime, your blood sugar's high. Now what? What do we do? Do we just go to bed? Let's just say if our blood sugar's at like, I don't know, 250, we just go into bed? What are we doing? A lot of people will use fall asleep or 1 to 2 o'clock. Okay. A lot of people will use, some people get prescribed insulin, fast acting insulin, so on. So you take the insulin because your blood sugar is high in the morning. And guess what happens? Because it's high at bedtime. And now it's 3 a.m. Your blood sugar was high. You took the insulin. 3 a.m. What's going to happen at 3 a.m., folks? What's happening to you at 3 a.m.? Are we just getting up to go to the bathroom? I mean, what are we doing at 3 a.m.? After this is a long day, folks. It's called the blood sugar roller coaster. This is what really happens. This is an illustration of what really happens to your blood sugar, give or take. Okay. Bathrooms, okay. You do that with the bathroom, but here it is. It's your blood sugar tanks. Why does your blood sugar tank? It's because that's why you wake up and you're like, huh! You wake up like looking all frantic and crazy and all kind of stuff. The reason you wake up feeling frantic and crazy and all types of stuff is because your blood sugar is tanking, and your body is, and your adrenaline kicks in. Your adrenaline kicks in, and it says, "Hey, wake up! Shake you up! Wake up! Your blood sugar is tanking." We don't want your blood sugar to tank, because if your blood sugar tanks, you run out of time. If your blood sugar gets to 0, you've run out of time. Remember that thing we talked about time earlier? I do wake up startled, right? You wake up startled. The reason you wake up startled is because your blood sugar is tanking and your adrenaline kicks in. It says, wake this guy up or wake this gal up, because they're about to check out of here. So wake them up. Because when your blood sugar starts going low like that, like I said, we know what happens when it gets to 0. You don't want your blood sugar to get to 0. When it gets to 0, that's game over. So that's why you wake up in a frantic like that. So, but here's the thing, folks. Human beings, so that's one day. Human beings are the only species that are glutton for punishment. We're the only ones that are glutton for punishment. I only get 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, that's not great. 6 to 9 is the preferred. Here's the thing. We're the only ones that's glutton for punishment. Check it out. Because we will wake up the very next day and we'll do this whole thing over again. That's one day. That's one day. You thought the day was over. You thought the day was over after the 3 a.m. and you woke up like, nope. The day's not over until you start the next day. You see this? It's just an endless roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. It's just ups and downs and ups and downs and roller coasters and wheeze. Here's the thing. You want to get yourself off of that roller coaster. You want to get yourself onto the kiddie rides. Okay, what's your favorite amusement park? You got a favorite amusement park where you love to go on the roller coasters as a kid, you'll say? Maybe it was Six Flags. Maybe for me it was like Disney World and Universal Studios, SeaWorld. Like these places, they had a lot of roller coasters. You know, King's Dominion. But when it comes to that blood sugar roller coaster, you don't want to be on this roller coaster at all. Because there's a big old monster right up top watching over all of this. While you're on this blood sugar roller coaster, there's a big monster right up top looking that's overseeing this whole thing. You want to know what it's called? It's called insulin. It's called insulin. Insulin is the overseer. So every time you eat, you're on this roller coaster, insulin cannot go down. So insulin's like way up here somewhere all day. And if you're exposed to something for too long, who can tell me what happens when you're exposed to something for too long? When you're exposed to something for too long, who can tell me? Like, let's just say if you drink a lot of alcohol, you expose yourself to a lot of alcohol. Like, what do you build up? If you drink a lot of alcohol, what are you doing? What do you remember when it used to be like, what are you building up? Toxins? Okay, there it is. A tolerance. There it is. You're building up toxins too. That's a good one. But you're building up a tolerance. How to remove the extra sugar from the body. We're going to talk about that next. But you build up a tolerance to alcohol because you drink it all the time. And it's the same thing with insulin. If you've got too much in your system all the time, you're going to build up a tolerance to it. But they don't call it tolerance. They call it resistance. Insulin resistance is the same thing. It's just like a person who's an alcoholic. They've got to drink more and more and more and more alcohol to fill a buzz. Like, hey, it used to take me 1 drink to fill a buzz. Now it takes me 2. 2 drinks to fill a buzz. Oh, and now it takes 6, sorry. It takes 6 to fill a buzz now. A whole 6-pack. And then eventually be like, yo, you got a whole 12-pack. I worked in oil and gas. I had a coworker. Every time we went on a trip, we go on a trip. I mean, this guy, he stopped at the grocery store and he just come back with a suitcase full of beers. At least like a 12 or 24 pack of beers. And he drank that in the night. I'm like, dude, wow. That was one hell of a tolerance, bro. It's the same thing that happens with insulin. The more years you go by, you just keep on being on this blood sugar roller coaster year after year after year. Insulin is just staying high, and it's just staying, and your body's building up more and more resistance. You're becoming more and more and more and more resistant. You've become so resistant that you have to use help from the outside. You've been prescribed insulin. If they prescribed you insulin, here's what that means. That means that your insulin resistance has gotten so bad that you need help. It's not contrary to popular belief. People say, oh yeah, the reason I got to take insulin, if I'm a type 2 diabetic, the reason I got to take insulin is because I've got too little insulin, so I need help. No. It's not that you've got too much insulin. Let's clear all that up. It's not that you've got too much insulin. It's not that you've got too little insulin, sorry. It's that you've got too much insulin. And that's why you build up a tolerance to it. That's why you become resistant to it. Because it's come around too much. So get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster, and I'm telling you, things will start to stabilize. Your energy will come back. See these little dips? These are called crashes. These crashes is when your energy dips. Is when you feel, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I get sleepy. Those are called energy dips. Those are crashes. Thank you for saying that. Someone says I eat too often. Here's what I want y'all to remember. When it comes to the very first thing, when it comes to getting yourself off of the roller coaster, if you want to get yourself off of the roller coaster, say me, put me in the chat. I'm going to tell you how to get off of this roller coaster right now. Put a me in the chat. If you want to get off of this, I'm going to show you how to get off of this roller coaster. Here's how you get off of it. I crash out a lot. Here's how you get off of it. Start your day, instead of that at 8 a.m., instead of starting it off with the ho-ho Twinkies and the ding-dongs and all that stuff, and the pancakes and the Lego My Eggos and all of that coffee with all the sugar in it, start your day off. Start your day off with a savory breakfast. Get your pen and pad on this one, folks. Get your pen, because this is good stuff I'm about to tell y'all. This is how you get yourself off. This is how you permanently get yourself, well, it's one of the ways that you get yourself off of the blood sugar roller coaster. There's a lot of ways, but here's number one. Start off with a savory breakfast. What's a savory breakfast? A protein, a carbohydrate, or no, not a carbohydrate. So scratch the carbohydrate. A protein, a non-starchy veggie, and a healthy fat like an avocado. Non-starchy veggie could be a broccoli, could be an asparagus, could be a cauliflower. So an example of a savory breakfast is this: chicken, broccoli, avocado. Fill your plate with chicken, broccoli, avocado. That's a savory breakfast. Fill your plate with salmon, asparagus, and maybe some nuts and seeds on the side. That's called a savory breakfast. That's step number one. So instead of spiking in the morning, you're going to have nice, clean energy throughout the day. See, instead of it going high, it's just going to go nice and clean throughout the day. Nice and clean. Step number two. Step number two is to follow this 4-4-12 rule. 4-4-12. What if you get blood filtered? There is a place they transfusion your blood in Miami. You get your blood. Are you talking about for dialysis? Is that what you're talking about for? How about protein shakes? Again, the protein shakes. Protein shakes are as long as it's a protein shake does not have dairy. So maybe a plant-based protein. And make sure it's not freaking like glucerna and all that stuff. Okay? You're making it at home, great. Glucerna and the equal, those are ant. All right, what about eggs? Yeah, that's a good savory breakfast. Start your day off with a savory breakfast with eggs. So that's a savory breakfast. But here's the thing, after that, it's called the 4-4-12 rule. So you wait 4 hours after you eat to eat again. So if your last meal is at 8, if your breakfast was at 8 a.m., you ain't eating your next meal until 12. That's 4 hours later. What's going to happen is going to allow these peaks to come down. It's going to allow your insulin to come down. 4 hours. Okay? And then you eat again 4 hours. So 4-4-12. So you wait 4 hours to your next meal. So you wait 4 hours to dinner or 4 hours to a snack. So if your meal's at 12, your lunch is at 12, you ain't having a snack until 4 p.m. That's 4 hours. It's going to allow your insulin levels to come down. If you ate anything that had carbohydrates in it. But still, just follow the simple rule, 4-4-12, and then wait 12 hours overnight. So after your last meal, wait 12 hours. So if your last meal is at 7 p.m., your next meal is going to be at 7 a.m. That's 12 hours later. Go at least 12 hours. So 4 hours after lunch, 4 hours after breakfast, wait. 4 hours after lunch, wait. And then 12 hours overnight. weight. 4, 4, 12. You do that, folks, I'm telling you. Start your day off with a blood sugar. Start your day off with a savory breakfast, and then follow the 4, 4, 12 rule. I promise you, you get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster. I promise you, get yourself off of that. I promise you'll get yourself off of that. What if you eat fiber before? Yeah, fiber is great. Fiber, fill up on some vegetables. Fill up on non-starchy veggies first. Yes, that would be great. Fiber first, absolutely. That's great. So this is it, folks. This is how you get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster. If you need help getting yourself off of this blood sugar roller coaster, you say, Kelley, man, listen, bro, like I've been on this blood sugar roller coaster for many, many years. I'm ready to get off of this roller coaster. I need to get my life back. I'm in a lot of pain, man. Like my blood sugar's high, my energy's low, my libido's low, everything is low, man. I don't feel like myself, nothing. Help. If you need help with that, then the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is calling your name. If you feel that your body has been begging for a reset, then you should listen to it. If your body has been begging you for a reset to get you off of this blood sugar roller coaster, and you want to escape, join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Right? What causes fatigue? This right here. This is what causes fatigue. Being on the blood sugar roller coaster. That's what causes fatigue. You don't want to feel fatigued anymore. You want to get your energy back. If your energy is, if you can't remember the last time you just felt real energy just running through your body, then you should join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you can't remember, like, when was the last time I felt energy, real energy running through my body? I don't remember. Has it been a year? I don't know. Has it been 2 years? I don't know. I've had diabetes for so long. I don't know when the last time I felt real energy. I just come to accept that this is going to be my energy level. I just come to accept it now. Well, if you've come to accept that, there's probably nothing I can do for you. But if you haven't accepted that, if you come to the point where you say, like, man, listen, I've gotten to the point where I'm ready for change. I'm at that point, man. I'm there. I've had that day. What day is that? Oh yeah, the day that turns my life around. The day that I said enough is enough. Enough is enough with all of this, man. Like, I'm tired of the medications. I'm tired of the blood sugar roller coaster. I'm tired of the energy lows. I'm just tired, man. You sick and tired about being sick and tired? Join that challenge and break that cycle. Where's the challenge? It's right here. If you're diabetic, where is the challenge? It's right here. Here's where the challenge is. If you click right up here, you click on my picture again. If you say I'm ready to get outside of my comfort zone, if you're ready to get outside of your comfort zone and do what it takes, because that's it, folks. You're gonna have to do what it takes. Here's all the goodies right here. The quiz, the masterclass, 14-day challenge. Quiz and masterclass, all free stuff. 14-day challenge. This one's the only one I got to charge you for because it's real people getting real results on this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Right? Real people getting real results on this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It is a blueprint that says if you follow this nutrition blueprint and you're ready to take control of your blood sugar, you're going to get yourself off of this roller coaster right here. This is what you want to get yourself off of. Everybody who does the 14-day challenge has gotten themselves off of the roller coaster. Why? It's because it's the food. It's the food that's causing it. It's the food that's causing it. If you're in South Africa, you can join the challenge as well. As long as you got an internet, you can join the challenge. As long as you got the World Wide Web, which most people have the World Wide Web, aka the internet. You can join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you want to join this challenge, it's $99 to join that challenge. But if you use the live discount code ESCAPE at checkout, use the live discount code ESCAPE, you join the challenge for 20% off. So $79 to join that challenge, that blood sugar reset challenge. Where? Again, You show up, you do the work, you do it again the next day, you will get yourself off of that roller coaster. Or you can continue to do what you've been doing. And the question is, has that worked for you? Has that worked? And the question is, has it worked? And the answer is probably not. All right? Just like it didn't work for me. I had to stare. I had to face what I had to do. What is it I had to do? I had to change my lifestyle. I had to change what I was eating. And that's the bottom line. There's no way escaping it. There's no way around it. You can tiptoe around and try to avoid it, try to take as much medications. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to take all these medications to try to get rid of diabetes. Okay, you can do that. You can take all of it. They can give you all the medication from all the world, from everywhere in the world. They can give it to you. And it still wouldn't clear up your diabetes. It still wouldn't. Still wouldn't clear up that insulin resistance. Why? It's because it's a diet and lifestyle related condition. That's why. You want to join that challenge where we talk about all things clean eating? Use that discount code ESCAPE. I want to join the challenge. If you want to join that challenge, use that discount code ESCAPE, because we're getting ready to get out of here in 25 minutes. So you want to beat that. You want to escape it before we get out of here. Okay. I'm diabetic and I fast daily. I only eat carbs for dinner and saw my glucose drop from 160 to what? From what? You only eat carbs for dinner and you saw your glucose drop from 160 and then it cut off after that. Thank you for the information. You're quite welcome. In the event, yeah. Wow. What do we need to do to join? Yeah. You click that link right here. You click that link in my description right here. Click right here. And then you click on my picture again. It's going to take you to that link. Here's that link right here. It says Linktree. There it is. All you do, click on it. That's it. 14-day challenge. That's what you need to do. And then at checkout, you need to put that discount code, ESCAPE. So you save 20%. Diabetes gives pain. Diabetes does give pain. It gives you a lot of pain, right? Here's the thing. The time, and here's the thing. I want you to think about time and I want you to think about pain. They're partners in crime. The longer you wait the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost you. So time and pain, they're like partners in crime. If you wait, that pain is just going to kick in. The more you wait, the more that pain is going to kick in. The longer you wait. Here's when most people take action. A lot of people always say, well, hey, Kelley, well, what are your best clients? What are your best customers? What are your best clients? What are your best customers? And what I've noticed, and if you ask any health coach, you ask any nutritionist, you ask anybody, and they're going to tell you the people who do the best are the people who have hit rock bottom. They've hit rock bottom and they say, I will do anything in my power to do whatever I got to do because I've hit rock bottom. And there's the only place else is down. Like the only place else is up. Like you got to the point where you hit so rock bottom so far that the only way to go is up. Because that's how at rock bottom you are. Those are the best clients. It's because they know that there's only one place to go, and that's up. If you haven't hit rock bottom, you ain't gotten to the bottom yet. So you're like, nah, I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep on eating this trash food. I'm going to keep on eating the diesel fuel. I'm going to keep on drinking. I'm going to keep on doing all of that. Because they ain't hit rock bottom yet. Some people, they get their toe amputated. That still ain't rock bottom for them. Some people get their leg amputated. That still ain't rock bottom for them. So everybody has a different rock bottom. I hit my rock bottom when my mother passed away from the same condition that I got diagnosed with. That's when I hit rock bottom. Okay? That caused me to reverse my diabetes, and reverse heart disease, and reverse obesity. That was my reasons. I had enough reasons. I had that day to turn my life around. The question is, have you had that day? Have you had that day that you say, you know what, enough's enough, man. I don't let it get to rock bottom. Because it will come, I promise you it will. Diabetes doesn't care. Doesn't care who you are, doesn't care your social status, it doesn't care your race, your ethnicity, your creed, color, whatever. It doesn't care. It doesn't even care about the holidays. The holidays are coming up. Thanksgiving is coming up. Diabetes, you want to know a crazy thing, like a fun fact? Here's a fun fact for you. With Thanksgiving right around the holidays, right around the corner. Diabetes doesn't care about Thanksgiving. It doesn't. You want to know what diabetes knows? All it knows is my blood sugars. You ate a whole bunch of food that sent my blood sugar to the moon. And it's staying high for a long, long time. Like up here. That's all that it cares about. It doesn't, your blood sugar doesn't. Your blood sugar doesn't care about Thanksgiving. I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you, but it doesn't. Now, can you still go out and enjoy yourself at Thanksgiving? Yeah, you can. But one thing you better be mindful. "14 days and you're not diabetic." That's not what I'm saying. I'm in South Africa. Can I join? As long as you got the internet. 14 days, here's what you're going to do in 14 days. We're going to get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster. In 14 days, you're going to get yourself off of the roller coaster. Just like everybody else who's joined the challenge. Everybody who joined the challenge and they did the work, I'm going to put a caveat on it, and they did the work. It's because it's a challenge. It's outside of your comfort zone, right? Human beings want to stay inside of our comfort zone as much as we possibly can. But here's the thing about a comfort zone. It's a beautiful place. But the only thing that grows there is regret. It's a beautiful place. You ever look at your comfort? If you just put a bird's eye view on your comfort zone and you looked at it, dude, it's freaking beautiful. It's beautiful. You can do whatever you want and whatever you want. You can have a pop belly. You can have Cheeto dust hanging out your belly button. It's a beautiful place. The only thing that grows there is weeds and regret. It's the only thing that grows there. If you want anything to happen, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get outside of your comfort zone. Because if you've been looking for it inside of your comfort zone, I can promise you, you ain't going to find it. You ain't going to find it. How do you find out if it worked? How do we measure? Well, you measure every single day. Every single day, people in this 14-day challenge, they have their blood sugar meters. If you have diabetes, you already most likely have a blood sugar meter. And you're going to see your numbers every day change. Every single day. And by the end of the 14 days, you're going to notice your blood sugar is, there's been people who have, their blood sugar started off at a 400. Now it ended, they were like a 125 at the end of 14 days. Someone who was a 366, now she's under 100. There's someone, and we talk about A1C. There's someone who's A1C, she's 80 years old, went down a 1.5 points. She just came on yesterday, told her story. She told her story yesterday. It's been people who've been taken off of their medication. They went from an A1C of an 8 to a 6. Somebody said there's an 8.4. From an 8 to a 6 in 14 days. From an 8 A1C to now a 6. 2 points. 2 whole points. 2 whole percentage points. And they were taken off their medication by their doctor. You see, I can't take you off your medication, folks. I don't have the authority to do that. But here's what I do have the authority to do. You have the authority to show you how to eat. Some certified nutrition. Because it's what you're eating that's caused it. That's what's caused your blood sugar to go crazy. And if you clean that up, I promise you, you're going to get yourself off of that roller coaster. If you don't clean it up, You're just going to keep going to doctor's visit after doctor's visit after doctor's visit after doctor's visit. Until you're going to keep going to doctor's visit after doctor's visit until you hit rock bottom. And then when you hit rock bottom, that's the only time you're going to change. It could be the day you're at rock bottom. It could be a year from now you're at rock bottom. It could be 2 years from now. It could be, you know what I mean? You've been at rock bottom right now already at 2 years. You're already at rock bottom. But that's when it happens. That's when the change happens. Until then, all the stuff up here saying is just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, because it's not going to register to you till you get to that point. And when you get to that point where change isn't just desired, it's downright necessary. Like when I got to my point, like when I got to the point where change wasn't just desired, it was downright necessary. When I got to that point, I said enough. That was called rock bottom right here. It's 2 weeks after I took this picture is when I hit rock bottom. 2 weeks after I took this picture is when I hit rock bottom right here. Why? Because I got my diagnosis: heart disease, obesity, diabetes. 2 weeks after that picture. Here's the thing, folks. You see all the weight that I lost? You can do the same thing. What kind of medication did I take? People always ask, Kelley, what'd you take? Was it metformin? Was it Mounjaro? Was it glycosides? Let me bring this down. Was it Rybelsus? You know what I'm saying? And then when I tell people what I did, people will run from me so fast that it's not even freaking funny. Especially when I go to the VA. When I go to the VA and I'm the Veterans Affairs, I used to be in the Navy. When I go to the VA and I tell people what I did, because they ask me, you're the diabetes guy, hey, right? Yeah, that's me. How do I do it? What did you do to get rid of it? They're like, yeah, I want to get off of these meds. They're in the medication line. I want to get off of these meds. And I tell them what I got to do, what you got to do. You got to change your lifestyle, especially what you're eating. You got to change what's at the end of your fork. It starts there. You want to know that people run from me so quickly? That's it. They run from me fast. And I just say, hey, man, all we're doing is changing what you're eating. But yeah, you would rather go take all of this medication. You've been taking this for year after year after year after year after year, and nothing has changed. That's the definition of insanity. If you keep doing the same thing, like I showed you in that picture, had I kept doing the same thing that I've been doing, you'd be on somebody else's live right now. November 11th, Veterans Day. It is Veterans Day. Talking about the VA. You'd be on somebody else's live right now. Why? Because I wouldn't be here. Where would I be? I'd be pushing up daisies. I'd be 6 feet under, most likely, due to my diet and lifestyle choices. Because I told you I had heart disease, obesity, and diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. What do you think about the lion diet? Friend doing it? No, lion. That sounds like a carnivore diet. I don't recommend that. I reverse type 2 diabetes with eating loads of eggs and meat, cut out the carbs. Yeah, you had to change your diet. That's it. Something had to change, right? Something had to change. You had to change your diet. 90 days went from a 6.6 to a 5.8. Congratulations to you. Shout out to you. I can make a new comfort zone with the info you're giving us. Yeah. You're going to have to make a new comfort zone, Anita. That's the only way that you're going to be able to do it. You're going to have to make a new comfort zone. And that comfort, you got to be uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. You got to be, no, my bad. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's the word that I'm looking for. You got to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know what works really good to get your blood sugar under control? Insulin. No. All you're doing is contributing to the problem with insulin. That's what you're doing. You're contributing to the insulin resistance. You don't give an alcoholic more alcohol. You're just contributing to the problem. You give them less, or no alcohol. They go to AA meetings. And somebody just joined the challenge. Shout out to you for joining the challenge. Shout out to you for joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Your life, I promise you, is never going to be the same. Welcome. Welcome. I'm interested in your program. Yeah, if you're interested in the program, here it is. Oh, back to the insulin thing. So, like I was saying, you're just contributing to the insulin. You're just contributing to the insulin resistance. That's all you're doing with more insulin. So that's not the solution. Okay? The solution is your lifestyle. Here it is. You click right here. You click that link that says Linktree, because we're out of here in 10 minutes, folks. You want to join the challenge? Now is the time. Here it is right here. Click that link. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. 14 days to reset your blood sugar. Get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster, which many people have done. They've gotten themselves off of the roller coaster. You're ready to take control of your blood sugar. If you're not ready to, if you say, I don't want to wait until it gets to rock bottom. I don't want to have to wait until it gets to rock bottom for me to make a change. Don't be like that, for real. Get to it early. You get to it early, you got a shot. You get to it too late, when they chop your toe off, it's too late by then. When they say it's time to amputate, it's too late by then. When they say you lost your sight, you've run out of time. You've run out of time. You can't reset losing your sight. You can't reset they took your toe. You can't reset if they took your leg. They amputated it. You want to join that challenge, use that live discount code ESCAPE. So you can escape that future that's only inevitable for you. You know what future that is? If you don't change this diabetes, if you don't change anything about your blood sugar, if you don't change anything about what you're eating, the only thing that is going to change, if you don't change, in 5 years from now, is your prescription. That's the only thing that's going to change. You're just going to have a higher doses of prescription, a different prescription. Maybe they'll come out with some new, I don't know, some new drug that they come out with. That's the only thing that's going to change. But if you face it, if you face what you got to face, and that's changing what you eat at the end of year 4, you face that, you can get yourself back right in as little as 2 weeks. Isn't that crazy? 5 years or 2 weeks, you choose. Change what you eat, or that's it. Those are the only options. It's what you're eating. I don't know how to say it. I'm going to say it again. It's what you're eating is what you're eating. It is what you are eating. I'm changing right now. If you're changing right now, you should join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Brother, I need help, please. If you need help, you should join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Where is it? Here it is. Again, I'm going to show you where it all is. Everybody's saying that they need help. I'm pointing them in the right direction. Here's where it is. You join this challenge. I'm telling you. This is it. Right there. Right here. You join this challenge, and that's it. You accept the challenge. It says $99. But if you use the live discount code ESCAPE, that's it. Use the live discount code ESCAPE, $79 to join the challenge. And then the only thing after that, you're like, well, what's after that? Well, what's after I get the challenge? What's after I join the challenge? Well, you go to work. You go to work. I give you everything you need. Shopping list, blueprint, everything. What to eat, when to eat, how to eat it. I'm going to be your tour guide throughout this adventure. Kind of like that movie, Captain Phillips. If you've ever watched Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks, when the guy comes on and the pirates take over the ship and they say, I'm the captain now. When they get to the bridge and they're like, I'm the captain now. You hang out with me for 2 weeks, I'm going to be your captain for 2 weeks. And you just get on, you just fall in line, just like everybody else does. Fall in line, you follow this blueprint. And if you've got high blood sugar, at the end of those 14 days, you won't have high blood sugar anymore. It's a proven blueprint. How do I know it? Because I did it. I did it myself. I'm the guy. I started this thing. I'm the guy who reversed type 2 diabetes, reversed heart disease, and I'm no longer obese. Why? Because I just follow a proven system. That's all, my system. Eat real food. What are we doing? Eating real food, real structure, real results. That's all it is. There's no games, no gimmicks. There's no none of that stuff. There's no take this supplement, that supplement. No, what are you eating? Because what you're eating has caused your blood sugar to be high, mostly. We clean that up, sky's the limit. Thanks for your service. You're quite welcome. I'm interested in the program. How can you lower cholesterol? The same way. Same way. That's how you lower your cholesterol. I would like to join the 24-day blood sugar reset challenge, 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You added 10 more days on there. How much is $79 in rands? I don't know. What is rands? Let's see what that is. What country is that in? Let's see what that $79 in rands. What's a rand? It's 1,354 rand. Oh, it's South African. Okay, gotcha. About 1,350 rand. 1,350. That's what it is. What do you call real food? You were here, if you were here earlier, but we did the whole thing about diesel and unleaded fuel. So real food is, to nutshell, because we're getting ready to get out of here in like 5 minutes. I'm going to give you the quick version. Real, whole, unprocessed foods. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, legumes, aka beans, and leaner sources of protein. Chicken, turkey, salmon, tofu, tempeh, eggs, steak, fish. That's real food. Something that was grown on a branch, something that maybe once had dirt on it. That's real food. You eat that most of the time, you're gonna get rid of that. You're gonna bring your blood sugar right where you need to be. Put it to the test. If you say you tried everything, you say, man, you know what? I tried everything. How about try this? I don't think you've tried everything. How about you change to eating real food? Change over to eating real food. Do that for 14 days consecutively, and you eat the food in a certain order. I guarantee you'll get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster. That's real food. Having a lot of complications right now because of my blood sugars at 17. Yeah, your A1C's at a 17. Yeah, if you're having a lot of complications right now due to your blood sugar being that high, I think you're saying your A1C's at a 17. Then the time to act, Goofy Ash, is not now, but right now, because 17 is dangerously high. That's the highest number today. It was 15 and a half, but 17 is, yeah, it's dangerously high. You should join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, like immediately. Get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster. South Africa, yep. And high cholesterol, yeah, same thing. I had both, right? Did you see my pictures? High blood sugar and high cholesterol. I had it both. I had metabolic syndrome and I had a huge belly. Don't have any of that anymore. The thing is, you just got to do the work. If you're ready for change, and if you don't want to wait until you hit rock bottom, because I know a lot of people still are, and a lot of people still going to take what I'm saying in one ear, out the other, and they're still going to wait until they hit rock bottom before they make any action. I know it. I know it. I had to hit rock bottom before I changed. But you got to ask yourself, well, what's the consequence of that, though? What's the consequence of waiting until you hit rock bottom? Because here's the thing. Neglect is silent. Shh. But its consequences are loud. When they say you gotta amputate, when they say that you lost your vision, you lost your kidneys, and ultimately, when you lost your life 20 years too soon, that's a real loud consequence. So my advice, you don't have to take my advice, but my advice is not let it get to when it hits rock bottom. You can take all the meds that you want. I promise you, you can. You can go to Australia and get all the meds you can want. You can go to US and get all the meds you want. You can go to Canada, get all the meds you can go to. You can go to Barbados. You can go to Russia. You can go to Uzbekistan. You can get all the medications that they got over there. And you can bring them back. You can bring a big old tub back. I got all the medications in the world. And you can take all that stuff. You want to know what's going to happen when it comes to insulin resistance? Not a damn thing. All you're doing is masking it. That's all you're going to do is mask it. So the second you stop taking all those medications that you got from all over the world, the only thing that's going to happen is you're just going to get stronger prescriptions. You stop taking them, that's it. Your blood sugar is going to go back up. The weight's going to go back up. All that's going to go back up. All because you didn't do what you had to do. And what was it that you had to do? Oh, yeah, you had to change your lifestyle. You had to change what was at the end of your fork. And you could have been done with this mess. My A1C is at 15. Can that be fixed? It can be fixed. If you do the work, you show up and do the work. People in the 14-day challenge, they're getting their A1C lowered every day. As we speak right now, people are lowering their A1C. As we speak right now, people's blood sugars are getting into the normal range who are on this 14-day challenge. I need a grocery list. If you need a grocery list, you join that 14-day challenge. I give you everything that you need. Blueprint, you follow it, show up, do the work, you're in there. Everything that you need. The blueprint's already laid out for you. You just got to do the work. All right. That's it, folks. That's it for today. We're getting ready to get out of here. I told you we end at 12 every day. We're like a minute over. Here's the thing. Like I said, if you want to join that challenge, you join that challenge. Use that discount code ESCAPE. If you're ready to escape. But even if you're not ready, at least take some of the stuff that I told you from this live. Like write down some of the stuff like, yo, when the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. When the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Write that one down. Like use that one in your life. So here's the thing. I want y'all to remember this. What do I teach? I teach about all things type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, and how to eliminate it using your lifestyle first approach. That's what I teach because that's what it is. It's the only way that you can get rid of it. Just need some ideas on more foods. Yeah. We'll hang out on my lives. If you need ideas on more foods, we talk about food all day. We talked about food for like an hour or two earlier. Come on the lives and we talk about food all day. Okay. That's what we talk about. But if you want to get specific with the food, you need a blueprint, you join that challenge. So here it is, folks. I want y'all to remember this. We'll be back tomorrow. That when we're born, when we're born, you know who we look like when we're born? We look like our parents. You may look like your mom, you may look like your dad, but ultimately, you're going to look like one of your parents. But when you die, you look like your choices.